thanks. I hate it. Hello, ghouls, goblins, and cemetery lurkers. Is that a thing? Cemetery lurkers? There's people who lurk in cemeteries? Probably. Hi, North. First of all, thank you. 9 months. We're having a Twitch baby. That is such a weird thing to say. A Twitch baby. I keep trying to get used to that phrase, and I keep not. Also, my ears are not working with the green screen, and this makes me sad. Because I'm an adorable little fox, and I have a little fox tail. Oh, I can't get my tail. There we go. Oh no, you can't really see my tail either. Oh no. Green screens are stupid. Especially when you don't have a real one. And then Fox is making tomato soup and quesadilla, which is like one of my favorite meals of all time. And I am too impatient to make quesadillas correctly, so the fact that that's like your executive dysfunction meal is hecka impressive, friend. Mr. Otter like has to make quesadillas for me because I literally cannot make a quesadilla. Because I get too impatient and I'm just like, get melty cheese and it doesn't toast correctly and then I'm mad and it's a whole thing. Rim, welcome in. I'm kind of you and Fox. I'm all of the foxes. So I found this costume when I was going through our Halloween decorations. And originally when I wore it, I had like a big inflatable globe and I was Mozilla Firefox. But now I'm just a fox and I got a tail. Wait, there's quesadilla makers? That's a thing? Like, we live in the future. Also, hi, Fiona. Do you use the steam method to make the cheese melty? No, that sounds way too advanced for me. That sounds so advanced. Steam? Like, I don't know. Mainly, at this point, I've just given up. You wanted to see the fox costume at least? Here it is! I have a tail! Look, it's adorable. It's super cute. And I got little ears. And they're friggin' adorable. Yes, hello, welcome in, all of my friends. We also have a skull. But it's like a cool neon skull. So we got that. Yes. We'll name him like Herbert, maybe? Or... Oh, thank you, Rim. Now I have 2 heads. That's better than 1, right? Why? I don't know. Does anyone else do that when you have something and you realize that it's like kind of lightish? Do you have the urge to put it on top of your head? Is that a thing that other people experience, or is this just a weird me thing? I don't know. We also have a cider. We got another one of those hollow jacks because the first one was so good that I had to have a second one. Thank you, Mr. Zaz. Thank you. Oh, also, Zaz, I have one thing to show you before you go. And this was Maffy's idea, so don't blame me. But there's a very scary person in the window. We are very frightened. I'm scared. Oh, he's gone. Okay, good. And that was Maffy's idea, so you can blame him. He's not here, so I'll fully throw him under the bus. Just right under a double-decker red London bus, because he's British, so we have to make it culturally relevant. Yes, so tonight we are doing spooky stories, which is one of my favorite things on the planet. We also have a ghost. I like that I planned all these spooky surprises for you guys that I'm immediately just like, I'm just gonna show you all the tricks in my bag because I have 0 patience of any kind. So there you go. That's all the tricks I got. But we got treats coming. Hello, Amity. How are you, my friend? Welcome on in. Ooh, I like the cauldron emote. I hadn't seen that one yet. It's very cute. You hate me and Matthew both, but gosh darn it, do you respect us? That's good. That's good. That's all we need is your respect. We don't need your love, just to make it really clear. I really like the little cauldron. You just made it yesterday? Amity, you're so freaking talented. There's so many good streamers in here. We should start doing shoutouts while we chit chat, because it's gonna take me a while to get through them. So let's start with North, because I saw him first. Ooh, Rogue Galaxy.
Oh, for seriously, wreck.
Oh no. That poor horsey. I hope it's okay. And then Fox, who just did a really cool game show thing. Frightened.
Was that supposed to be scared, or was that me opening the door?
Oh no. Are we about to get scared?
It's gonna...
Ooh.
Is it gone?
You are brave, because, like, I know that aliens in particular frighten you, so... Like, I play scary games. Well, okay. I was gonna say, like, I guess... Wait, what? What is happening? How and why is this happening? So the stream is haunted because I got rid of that redeem before we started the stream. And no one redeemed it. So I think we just get called by a ghost. I'm scared. I'm scared already. Hi, Onion. How's it going? Oh, it's already super spoopy also. There's a ghost outside, so we have to stay inside where it's safe, but I have my tail, and I'm gonna cuddle my tail to keep me safe, because you're supposed to, like, pin it to your back, I guess, but, I'm just gonna keep it in my lap like a cat and pet it. You spooked yourself with Sammy earlier because you had an extra delay and suddenly it went visible? Oh, that's the worst. Happens all the time. That's probably just what it was, but I'm scared. We probably won't get eaten by a ghost tonight, but no promises. Otter does not offer refunds if you are eaten by a ghost, just to be really clear. Also, I don't charge you anything to be here, so I can't give you a refund anyways, unless you're a subscriber, in which case, this bit is going really long for very little payoff, and once again, I do not offer refunds. Let's talk about spooky shit. Oh, we were doing shoutouts. That's what we're doing. Who was next? I think it was Fiona in next.
Enemy?
I love the little pumpkin guy.
No. Oh god. Oh Jesus. Oh damn it. No. Damn it. God.
Those skeletons
Come
are
on,
so
game.
mean. Those skeletons are the meanest, and I feel so bad every time that clip comes up, Fiona. I'm like, no, they're so mean. They look like Pumpkin Jack, right, Ren? Or the little dude does. Who did I see next? Now I'm forgetting. I think it was Rim. What is that emote, Onion? Oh my god. That's amazing. Oh. Cult of the Lamb is so cute.
Here lies Otter crossing.
You murdered my otter twin? How dare you? You were gone for like a day and everybody died? Oh. Hey, Artemis, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. I love that little Daggerfall skeleton. Why do I keep saying skeleton? That's not how you say that word. Skeleton? Skellington. Well, come on in, Artemis. We're just doing shout-outs for all the wonderful streamers we have in chat tonight. I think next we had Zaz, who doesn't stream anymore, so I'm not going to do a shout-out, but he's a cool cat. Hi, Artemis. Welcome on in. And then Amity.
Gave me a handy. You got no place to run, no place to breathe.
Amity does Jackbox a lot of Sunday nights, and it's a great time.
Oh! Joe!
All right. You heard that. Let's keep it moving.
Youch!
All right. Now, Sam.
I really need to lower the volume on my clips. Whew. I don't know if that was super loud for you guys, but for some reason it was like
That's
way
so
loud for me.
dirty.
Whew. Yeah, my follow alert shows the person's profile pic because I have no respect for privacy. It wasn't that loud. Okay, I think it's just when I wear headphones that go through my mic, it's like a separate audio. Confusion. Cult of the Lamb is doing a special event right now if you have it. Ooh, I do not have it. I just watch everyone else play it. Because I have too many games, so I'm never gonna play. Oh, it was just damn yelling. I mean, Jackbox is a good reason to yell. If you're gonna yell about Jackbox. That's fair. So we have a very, very special stream tonight. Ghouls, goblins, boys and girls. Creepies, crawlies, in-betweenies, potatoes, tubers, turnips. Oh, Onion, you're so sweet. I will keep you safe. You know that I 1v1 ghosts on the reg, and so far I have not been defeated. So if anything comes for you, my dear, you just tell me and I will beat the crap out of any supernatural force that dare challenge my Onion. I will. Slappers only, I will beat the crap out of someone. It is the blood moon and ghosts of past members of the cult show up and give you gifts. Oh, I completely forgot you were talking about Cult of the Lamb for the second. And I was like, this is a very specific thing. And then I was like, oh, Cult of the Lamb. I get it. Putting it together. Hi, Trash. Welcome in. I was thinking about you today because Gordon Ramsay was on YouTube and he was screaming, "You're worse than garbage. You're trash." And I was like, I feel like Trash would love that. I should clip it and send it to him. And then I didn't. So I'm sorry. Hi, Ugly Kid Joe Cross. I love you. I love you. Hello. So tonight we're doing a very special stream and I'm super, super, super excited because I freaking love scary stories. Like, I adore scary stories. So you are not expecting all of this when you come in. Nobody expects the Otter Inquisition. I mean, hi. We're doing a spooky scary stream tonight because it's almost Halloween, which is my favorite holiday of the year, other than International Otter Day, which is not a real thing apparently. Actually, I think it is. There probably is an Otter Day. I know there's a Sea Otter Week, but I identify with river otters, just to make that very clear. You have a Gordon Ramsay definition published on Urban Dictionary. I hesitate so much to ask about that, Trash. Like, so much. Spooked skeletons. You thought that was a real bird? Oh, I want a pet raven really bad, and I want to befriend, like, the local ravens. But it's not. Okay. I'm so easily distracted, you guys. I'm just like, shiny, 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 and I don't know why you put up with it, frankly, but I'm glad you do, and I appreciate all of you. If you have a spooky story that you want to come in and tell us about, you would call in via the Discord. There is a special spooky story stream category in Discord. You're gonna go in for the Halloween call-in queue, and you're gonna drop your name right in there so that I know you want to call in and talk to us about a spooky story. So go ahead and start putting your names in. If you're a little shy and you want to wait, that's okay too. And in the meantime, we'll just keep chit-chatting, but I wanted to give you guys a heads up before I got distracted talking about other stuff, and then it was like an hour in and we hadn't taken any stories, and you guys were like, false advertising, demanding refunds, and it's a whole thing. I have 2 questions. Where did you get that? Oh, I have 2 where did you get that questions. One, the outfit. I found it in a box of Halloween decorations 2 nights ago. I bought it when I was in college. And I had a globe, and I was Mozilla Firefox. And it was adorable, but I think I lost the globe. No, it was an inflatable globe, and it got popped at a party, and I'm really bummed about it because it was gigantic. And then my mic is the Elgato Wave 1, and I've had a really good experience with it. I really like it, frankly. I'm starting to get freaked out now. Hi, Chaos Toolman. Welcome on in, my friend. Appreciate you coming in. And then I don't know, where is that redeem coming from? Hold on. I have to like find it because it's going to start freaking me out now. This is the Wave 1 is the oldest one. So you can probably get a pretty good deal on it, but yeah, it has a line in for headphones because I am constantly getting like caught in cords and always have wireless headphones die. I'm also really picky about headphones. Hello, Chaos Toolman. Hello. Yes, we did hit pause on a lot of our redeems tonight. Reason being, is,
You are not Mr. Awesome. You're complete tools.
yeah, we're building up the atmosphere because I'm so weirded out right now. I don't know why this is happening. You know what I bet I did? So the ghosts and the creepers are, you know, yep, that's what happened. Okay, hold on. I know what I did. I'm an idiot. It's fine. It's me. We figured it out. Okay. So I have a timer set to tell you guys how to call in via the Discord, and I set it up to the call-in alert instead of the call-in Discord message, not Discord message, chat message. So we figured it out now. We're good. Chaos Man is stalking you today. Ugly Kid Joe Cross, would you like to call in and tell us your spooky story about that time Chaos Tool Man stalked you across the interwebs? We figured it out. We don't have a first right now. Also, yeah, so Trash is gonna call in second. So I can kick us off with a little story. Ooh, Fox wants her inner monster revealed. So we'll do that first. How about that? And she says 27. Lucky number 27. Let's go. And then after this, I can kick us off and tell you guys a little spooky story I have. And then Fiona has bravely volunteered to be our first call-in. So 27, this is an interesting choice. Okay. So you're a beholder, Fox. Oh no, it's not gonna, hold on. Nope, it's still doing it. Okay, hold on. Uno momento. Yeah. So you are a beholder. Check it out. That's pretty cool. Specifically, Fox, you are a death tyrant beholder, which is oddly specific. I disappeared like a ghostie? Ooh. Ooh. So beholders are basically giant floating eyeballs that kind of float around and eat people. They're not the nicest things. Yeah, you're definitely a badass. They're intense. So you're not only a regular beholder, you are a death tyrant. On rare occasions, a beholder's sleeping mind drifts to places beyond its normal madness, imagining a reality in which it exists beyond death. That is terrifying. You are very on point, Fox. So we will drop that into the Discord, so you will be remembered now and forever as your inner monster. You're basically Hermaeus Mora, 100%, yes. So Fox is one of the 9 Daedric princes. Now we just gotta find 8 more. 8 more. Okay. So it is officially spooky story time. So I will tell you guys my little story, and then we'll start doing calls, and Fiona is up first, so I'm super excited. So my story takes place in my very first apartment. So I lived in a tiny postage stamp of a studio. I think it was like 800 square feet. And Chaos wants 69, and we're gonna do that after this story. So I lived in a tiny little 800 square foot postage stamp of a studio apartment. And one night I had gone to bed. And the thing about this apartment was they called it like a studio, but really there was just a sliding glass door in between my bedroom and the living room. And it was a 2-sided glass door. So at night, the one door that was furthest away from where my head was on the bed was open. So I could kind of see into the living room, but for the most part, not. So I wake up, it's about midnight. and apartment's dark, and I see tendrils of white gossamer fog just pooling around the corner of the sliding glass door into my bedroom from the living room. And I watched it for a second thinking maybe it was, you know, a fire or something, and kind of panicking that something was going on. But it was just this pool of hazy fog just kind of laying on the ground, and it started creeping up the door. And there was no noise. It was just this silent pool of white fog kind of getting bigger and bigger. And I laid there watching it for I don't know how long, and I was terrified. My heart was beating out of my chest, and I could visualize this thing standing on the other side, just letting me see a glimpse of it, knowing how scared I was. So eventually I built up the courage, and I was like, I have to know, because I can't lay here and cower all night. Like, I have to know. If it's a ghost on the other side of this door, I have to know, and like I have to deal with it. So I jumped out of bed and I charged into the living room, and I realized that I had left my humidifier running all night, and it was just clouds of smoke. The humidifier vapor, that's all it was. Literally thought I was being eaten by a ghost for 15 minutes, and it was a humidifier the entire time. And I felt real dumb. So it was good. It was good. So that is our first spooky story of the night, and we're gonna go look at number 69 for Chaos and find out his inner monster. I think someone did 69 already because it's a popular choice for some reason. Also, the book does not go to 420s, so don't even ask. Let's see. Yep. Okay, so Trash also did 69. So you are a lemur. A lemur rises when a mortal soul is twisted by evil and banished to the 9 hells for eternity. The lowest type of devil, lemurs are repugnant, shapeless creatures doomed to suffer torment until they are promoted to a higher form of devil, most commonly an imp. Congratulations. Did you? Why isn't that showing up for me? Oh, you did! I'm so sorry, Joe. And you only get to do it once, Chaos. I'm sorry. You're forever a lemur. And then Joe is 316. Let's see. Joe! Okay. Joe, you need to pick a number for me between 1 and 3. A lemur. The music just kind of stopped there very dramatically. And then in the meantime... Wait, what? Oh, yeah, that doesn't matter, Chaos. We have a couple people who overlap. I think Two Dogs and Snackman are also twinsies. You bet you're Stone Cold Steve Austin? You are not Stone Cold Steve Austin, but you are an ogre zombie. So basically you're a zombie, but you're also an ogre. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, there's not much to say here. Hi, Matthew. How's it going? Oh, here you go. We do have a picture of you, Joe. I can't show you because I'm a ghost. That's actually kind of cool. I can just make myself disappear. No, it doesn't work now. Okay. Yeah. Joe, you are an ogre zombie. I'm gonna write that down. Fiona, if you want to hop into Discord on the Halloween call-in line, we can get to your story, my friend. Sounds about right. Yeah, take your time. And then in the meantime, we will do Amity's. And she wants number 15. And welcome in, Maffy. By the way, Maffy, Zaz was here earlier, and he said he hates us both for doing this to him, so. We've been well rewarded. 15. I can count. Like an evil Shrek. Yes, exactly. Evil Shrek. Amity, you're an angel. Oh, I love that. I'm not gonna lie, the picture though is kind of like creepy. You're kind of a scary angel. I don't exist. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Can I, here? What? What? Ah. Nope. See? There it is. We got it to work. Boom. Yeah, Nephilim are scary. I learned that from Diablo. Hey, and we got our first caller. Fiona, good friend of the stream. Let's get ready to go here. I'm gonna turn the music down a little bit so we can be sure to hear Fiona. And then, Fiona, just make sure you have the stream muted and we will get you on the line. Watch me not be able to figure out how to do this. Hello. You do now. I just have to unmute you, Fiona, because otherwise people will join, you know. You're on. But I can't hear you. It doesn't look like you're talking. No worries. Okay, and then Amity says she is down for after trash. This is exciting. So many spooky stories. Although, Joe is accusing you of cheating, Amity, by looking at the monster manual. Fiona is gonna swap to her phone. Okay, cool. In the interim, I'm getting distracted by the beautiful music. Can I tell you, so me and Mr. Otter used to go waltzing a lot. Like we would do ballroom dancing together, and I miss it so much. You get what you get. What can I say? I feel like an angel wouldn't cheat, Joe. I feel like an angel wouldn't cheat. In your monster manual, slimy fish eels are on page 15, and angels are on 16. Interesting. In mine, it's the other way around. So it doesn't have you suppress.
Wait. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hi, how are you?
Oh, hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Welcome to the Spooky Call-In Show. Thank you so much for being our first caller. And welcome in, first-time chatter, Pongi. So for those of you who don't know Fiona, she is an amazing streamer, and she's super cool, and she's here to tell us a spooky story. So Fiona, tell us about the spooky.
Awesome. I've actually got two quick ones, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So the first one's from my Navy days. Back when I was still in Hawaii, I don't remember who it was, but someone told me a story about someone who, while on the submarine on watch at night, on the midnight watch, they had seen a pair of nags hanging up in the rafters somewhere, and it scared the shit out of them. And, I was like, yeah, okay, whatever.
A pair of what?
Well, they saw like a pair of nags. Like
legs, okay.
Like up in the rafters somewhere.
Got it.
And for some reason, on this night, I was thinking about it, and I'm in the bottom level of the engine room, on a ship. Imagine all the engine rooms you've ever seen on any ship. I'm on the bottom level taking like notes and stuff. and I look up, and I swear to God, there were 2 legs. I don't know if my brain was fucking with me, or if I don't know. I saw him like for an instant, and I said nope, and I ran out of that level,
Smart
and I ran.
girl. Smart girl. So many people would be like, I'm gonna investigate, and that's how you get killed. You know what I mean? So smart girl, first of all. I don't
Yeah.
have a second of all. I was just saying first of all, I guess. But yes, keep going.
I was so paranoid for the rest of my watch. Every time I went down there, I was like, I felt like there was someone down there, and I was like, man, I can't wait to get off watch and just not do this anymore.
Ugh. Were there ever any like theories about whose legs they were, or was it just the legs? Like there was never any sort of sightings of like a body to go with the legs?
No explanation, just a pair of legs hanging from the rafters. It was, yeah, it was wacky.
That makes it so much worse.
Yeah. So,
Ooh.
that was number 1. Number 2 was much more recent. Happened in I want to say it's 2019. But I was sleeping with my then girlfriend at the time, and we were in bed, and we were like cuddles and everything, and I fell asleep before she did. And I kind of had that out of body experience where you're like looking down on yourself from above you. I don't know if you've heard of those experiences.
Yeah, I have I get sleep paralysis, which is different, but I've heard of the out of body thing, and it's very creepy. I've never had it happen, but it freaks me out to think about.
Yeah. So this was the first time this has ever happened to me, and so I could like legitimately like see me and my girlfriend, in bed, and all of a sudden I started getting this anxiety building in my chest, and I knew what was happening because I could feel myself falling into a nightmare, which was like very scary because I knew exactly what nightmare was coming just by how scared my body was by it.
Yeah.
But trying to I could literally feel astral me trying to be like, wake up, and I wasn't waking up, and I could feel myself falling deeper and deeper.
No.
And then, like a snap, my girlfriend realized that my heart was beating very rapidly. I was generating a lot of heat. She woke me up.
Oh.
And I popped awake, and she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Thanks for saving me."
That is terrifying. Yeah, Maffy actually asks a really good question. So did you eat cheese before bed? And this is actually a good point. I don't know if this happens to anyone else, but if I eat cheese before I go to sleep, I get the weirdest dreams. Not saying that's what happened to you, but I'm just like curious if that was a variable here.
I mean, it's been so long that I cannot confirm nor deny if I had cheese. Because do not keep track of what I eat. So
That's totally fair. I'm like, did you eat cheese 3 years ago? That's a kind of a stretch question. But thank you so much for calling in. That's really creepy. I'm going to dream about legs tonight, and I'm not going to like it. And I'm going to blame you, but I forgive you.
yeah. Well, have a good rest then.
Have a good night, Fiona. Thank you for calling in with your spooky stories. I am officially starting to get a little spooked, so this is fun.
Hey, I'm just setting the bar.
Amazing. You're setting it high, Fiona. Thank you. And if anyone in chat is not following Fiona, please go do so. Amazing. First scary story of the night. Also, welcome in Pwangi, and thank you for that follow. And then, hey, Zay, welcome on in. If anyone has spooky stories, please feel free to call in and share with us. Yeah, Fiona, those were good. Like, I got a little freaked out. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little creeped out. I was like, I don't want to just see legs. That's scary. Trash, would you like to come on in? Yeah, the astral one I want to go back to because, it sounds similar to what happens with like a sleep paralysis attack. But it's a little different. Yeah, get on in here, Trash. Get on in here. Yeah, by the way, Maffy, how are you, my friend? So for those of you who don't know, Maffy, his apartment, the ceiling tried to murder him. It fell down while he was in bed, and he had to like Donkey Kong roll out of the way. So we're just glad that we still have Maffy with us, frankly. So hold your loved ones close, because we could have lost a good friend, and that's not fun. So much love to Maffy. We're glad he's still here to be the best mod on the planet. Speaking of great people, our next caller is Treyash, who's a longtime friend of the stream and just like one of the first people I met on Twitch and just an awesome human. So Trash, I think you should be able to unmute and say hello.
Hey, first time, long time.
What? It's so weird to like hear your voice not on your stream. Hi, how are you?
I am fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm excited for what spooky story you have to tell us.
Okay, so everything I'm going to tell you is 100% true, but no one ever believes me.
Okay,
So
I will believe you.
Right out of high school, me and 5 buddies moved into this house that was owned by one of the guy's uncles who runs a natural gas business in Singapore.
Okay.
He's extremely wealthy, huge house, like 4,000 square feet, had a subfloor that was finished, so it doubled everything to it. But there were rooms in this subfloor that just didn't feel like they were part of the house. Like you felt like when you went in them, you just weren't even in our house anymore.
Oh.
So we're 5 guys right out of high school. All we do is party all the time. There's one night we're all getting ready to go party, and I'm waiting on a friend. Everybody leaves before me. I'm just chilling there watching TV, and we all joke around and like try to scare each other and prank each other. So I hear my buddy in the basement. There's one door you can come in the basement. My instant thought is he's come in the basement. He's trying to scare me. I can hear him just kind of giggling to himself. So I sit there a minute. I'm waiting on him to come up the stairs, and he just never does. So I figure I'm going to get him. So I go up and stand by the stairs, and I jump around him, and I realize it's pitch black down there, and there's no way he came in there. Like, okay, I'm imagining stuff. So let me go back a little bit. The guy would bring back this weird, what we thought was probably illegal stuff from Singapore, and he had it in these big, like, lighted glass, I don't know the word, just like viewing cabinets, I guess. And it was like vases, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, so like kind of like artifact cases, like a hutch but glass and then lighted inside. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you lived in a house owned by like a Singaporean Indiana Jones who collected stuff for his own purposes.
You would think that, yeah, basically.
Okay. Got it.
So I look down the stairs. No one's there. So I go back to sit down for a minute. I'm still waiting on my buddy, and I hear my other friend downstairs, or the other guy that lives to the house. And I go, okay, I know they're there now. They're really trying to lay it on. So this time I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to walk down there, and I'm going to catch them. So go downstairs, flip all the lights on, of course. Go downstairs. There is nobody there. Absolutely nobody. And this time, like, I have heard his voice for sure. No, we're gonna head back up. We're gonna head up. So I decide I'm gonna go outside and wait on my buddy because I don't want to be in this house alone right now.
Yeah.
So as I turn around, I'm gonna walk through the kitchen. My buddy comes like running. There's a kind of like a covered carport you come through before you come in our house. He comes running through it, and he goes, "Hey, where's Matthew?" And Matthew's truck was there, but he had rode with somebody else. I said, "Well, he's gone. They left before us. We're going to go meet him." He goes, "No, Matthew just tried to scare me. I know he's here." So he tells me while he was getting out of his car, Matthew ran up behind him and screamed his name and grabbed him by the shoulders. And when he turned around, he had ran off. Like he didn't really see him. I was like, okay, let's just go. And I told him about my story on the way. So we finally meet up with our friends, and like they all had very similar stories as to why they left early and didn't wait on us, because they all thought we were all trying to get at each other. So right after that, we tell the uncle, "Hey, somebody bumped into some of your stuff downstairs. We think it's going to get broken if it stays, so we got them to take all the stuff out and put into a lockup, like a security lock. And that ended it. That's the story that sticks with me the most. But there are so many before that, while all that like burial ground stuff was still in the house.
So did it stop once you moved the stuff out of the house?
Totally. Once the stuff was gone, there were no more scares. Like, there were nights you couldn't sleep in that house. We'd all be sitting in the living room watching TV, and like the dog would look down the hall, and then we'd all look because you'd see somebody just walk by a doorway or something. It's the freakiest place I've ever lived in.
How long were you there?
Like 5 years, 3 years with the stuff. So
I
like, the majority of the time it was just like scary. Like you were hoping somebody was there with you.
I would be gone in 28 seconds flat. First
We were
ghost.
kids with a party house. Like, it was the perfect scenario. We just put up with the ghost.
I mean, fair. That is wild. So I wonder if do you have a suspicion as to far as like, was it a specific item that was causing the issue, or was it just like the collection as a whole?
We asked him, and he was always kind of weird about stuff, and we found out later because it was all illegal, like stuff out of burial grounds over there that he should have never had. So
Yeah.
there might have just been like one thing that maybe had some bad juju on it. We don't know.
Ooh, that's creepy. So I have a question. You're young guys. You're in a party house. Would you like be transparent with girls that you were taking home that ghosts might eat them in the night?
Oh yeah, that was totally part of the play sometimes. Right? You gotta get them feeling like they want to be close to you, of course.
Smart.
But I did date a girl for a very short time there who told me she'd come to the house one night, and I told her about it, and she's like, well, I didn't feel anything, and I'm really good at feeling stuff like that. I was like, oh, well, that's cool. And then the second night she came over, she told me, I took her into the room downstairs where you don't feel like you're in the house, and she told me something was screaming at her to get out of the house, and I never saw her again.
Ugh. Ugh. Well, I think you've sufficiently freaked all of us out, Trash.
Good. Yeah, y'all sleep with that thought tonight.
Well, thank you for coming in and telling us a very creepy story. That's a good one. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye, friend. Woo. Guys, that was creepy. He was also, he has a great storytelling voice. Also, he did there was a ramp up there. That was good storytelling. That was excellent. And he came clean about picking up the girls with the ghosties, which, we're actually gonna do a quick poll. Would this line work on you? Hey, wanna stay in a haunted house? Why is there a maximum character limit on polls? That is upsetting. Yes. No. Start poll. And then Fiona redeemed for Monster Book, and she had page 13, I believe. Yeah, you have to pretend you're gonna be all macho and protect, and then the second something actually happens, you're the one who's... Fiona, you're our first triplet because you are an aboleth. Oh man, why does it do this? So, Two Dog and OG Snackman are both aboleths, so triplets. Amazing. It would depend on how smooth the person is. Yes. The answer is obviously yes. I would go. I would 100% go. And then I would immediately get scared, immediately shove you towards the ghost, and book out the door. 1000%. Battle with points pool. This is just like, I just want to know what you guys think, Paul, but y'all are like, no, I gotta win. I always forget to disable that setting, but it's funny to see too, like what people get emotionally invested in as far as polls go. But also, I did once spend 30,000 channel points in someone else's stream trying to name a horse Brie because I thought it was adorable. I haven't, Zay, because it's too scary and I will accidentally punch someone. Do other people like those? It's back up for sale now? Trash, we need to buy it. Well, no, because you said that once the dude took all this stuff out, the haunting stopped, right? Or else I would totally... If I ever become a billionaire for any reason, which we know won't happen, but if it did, I would 1000% buy a haunted house. Don't punch anyone, they won't touch you. Okay, here's the thing, Zay. In my head, it's not even like, oh, they're a monster and they're gonna hurt me. In my head, it's like, if I was a serial killer, I would 1000% take a job in a haunted house and then just snatch a random victim and then be like, I don't know what happened to that person. They probably got 1000% I would. And so just, I assume, because like, I know that I'm annoying enough to be like the perfect serial killing victim. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a very annoying person and I know this. And so if I was a murderer, I would kill myself, is what I'm saying. Has anyone seen the movie Haunt? Ooh, no, it sounds creepy. See, what you guys don't know is that I'm actually a giant freaking coward. So like, I'm not gonna sleep tonight. I literally took tomorrow off work because I know that I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight because I'm terrified. Terrified. I'm just a big brave, but just for you guys. Also, do you want to come back to my haunted house? Matthew contributed 950 channel points and says yes, it would work on him. I like it. You did an escape room and you knew it was scary going in, you still got so scared? I mean, it's the same thing with horror movies. I know it's scary and I go in and I'm still gonna get scared. Miss Amity, my angel, would you still like to hop in and tell us your scary story? I know everyone is super into trash, right? Everyone's like, oh, that voice. Oh. Yeah, and me and Onion are not sleeping tonight. We're very scared. Amity! Okay. Everyone settle in for our next storyteller. We have the lovely Miss Amity. And I think you should be able to unmute and say hello now.
Hello.
Hello! You sound really quiet, so let me turn you up a little bit. Oh, I can't. You are at max volume already.
Maybe if I talk normally, is this okay? Is this acceptable?
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Okay. I'm still, like, my chest, my heart is beating out of my chest already from just Trash's story, so... anyway.
Totally feel it. No, that was a little creepy, but yeah, no, you sound good now. So tell us your scary story. I'm excited.
Okay, so firstly, I love haunted houses. I'm a very logical thinker, though, so they don't really scare me. But, like, so being a logical thinker, I've run into many incidents where I am absolutely petrified. But probably the worst was I was living alone as a single mom, and I used to keep my lights off after a certain time. Lights were off. Kids were in bed. We didn't need lights. And I just put the kids down for bed, and I was walking back through my kitchen, and I fell to the ground because I saw this massive figure. It was like probably 5 to 6 foot tall. So like not super huge, but like bulky. And it was pitch black, but all I could see was like a bubble at the top and like divots down into, like, as you said, trendles down at the bottom. And I fell to the ground. I could not breathe. I could not cry. Like, there was no sound coming from me. And I am like, my chest was beating so hard and I'm like freaking out. I laid there for like 15 to 20 minutes. And all I kept thinking was, take me, not my kids. Take me, not my kids. Take me, not my kids. And I could not even function. And finally I was like, okay, this motherfucker had a chance to kill me. It's my turn now. And I stood up and I hit it. I fucking hit it. Sorry.
No.
Sorry about that. And it was a trash bag on top of a trash can, bubbled up because the air went into the trash can somehow. And I lost it. I felt like such a stupid, but like, even just telling that story again, the panic in my chest, I can feel it.
1,000%. I love that we're the same person and we both have tried to fight inanimate objects thinking that they were ghosts or grim reapers or whatever. But the panic is real. Like, it's indescribable to someone who hasn't seen it, because it's like, I'm not someone who believes in the paranormal. Like, full disclosure, I am a full skeptic. And so to like think I was actually seeing a ghost, that is such a reality shifting moment. And then realizing that you're an idiot, it's just a humidifier or a trash bag. It's such a weird roller coaster experience that like you can't explain fully unless you've had that experience, you know?
Yeah, I've had like a dozen of them. There was times things went flying or like other situations and I'm just like, oh, that was this, you know? But no, that trash bag, that got me. That got me good. Anyway.
That is very spooky. Well, thank you for calling in and telling us about it, because I'm glad we have this shared experience.
Yeah, well, have a great night.
You too. Thanks for calling in, Amity. Ooh, okay. Raise your hand in chat if you have also thought you were seeing a ghost or a chupacabra or other cryptid paranormal creature, whatever it might be, and then you got up to fight it after building up your courage for an extended period of time. And then it was a household object of some kind. Just curious. Trash once again has scared us all. He frightened us with his story, and then he frightened Amity with a trash bag. Glasses. I have 20/20 vision. I'm just an idiot. Dan says I ain't scared of no ghost. Well, I haven't dropped our call-in message in a while. So I'm gonna drop that real quick. If anyone else would like to call in, I know Ugly Kid Joe Cross, you said you are down to go next, but you're not sure when you'll be free. So when you are free, go ahead and just hop into the Halloween call-in line. And in the meantime, we'll just keep chit-chatting. And if there's someone else who wants to call in while we're waiting for Joe to become available, then we can certainly do that. And yeah, I know Dan had a story, but also not forcing anyone to call in. And also, I have some other stuff like lined up for the evening. Because I have found several threads of creepy Reddit stories, like the creepiest things that have happened to people. So, if we run out of stories, we can always, steal other stories from Reddit. Steal content from Reddit, I've heard, is the way to get ahead on Twitch/YouTube, so that's what we're gonna do. Oh, and we have an Ugly Kid Joe Cross on the line. Welcome in. Hello, how are you?
I'm well, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Welcome to the show. What spooky story do you have for us tonight, my friend?
Well, when I was younger, I had a friend who lived pretty much out in the middle of nowhere. And he had a little farm out there, and he had several goats.
I love a goat.
One weekend, I know, you're going to be sad then. One weekend, I was staying out at his house. And Saturday night, we had a tent set up outside, and we were going to sleep outside. And down from the barn, we heard growling and like other loud noises. And so we went in and got his dad, and he made us stay inside. And he went down there, and something had killed one of the goats.
Oh.
And we were not allowed to go down there. And the next day, all of the neighbors kept coming over and going down to the barn, and we were told that it was a wolf attack.
Mm-hmm.
But we were not allowed to go down there and look at it.
Oh.
And then Sunday, there was more noise coming from the barn, and Ben's dad walked down there with a shotgun, and on the way down, he fired a shot up in the air. And when he got down there, there was nothing there. So, and then like the whole day Sunday, we weren't allowed to go outside. We had to stay inside, all kinds of stuff.
Huh.
And then Monday, we were getting ready for school, and he had a very long walkway down to where the bus stop was.
Mm-hmm.
And the sun was just coming up, and we were walking down there. And when we started getting down there, there was a dog. Oh, here goes the trash again. There was a dog digging through his trash.
Oh, but it was just a regular dog?
Well, we were still a good bit away, and it wasn't very light out. And so he saw it, and he yelled at it. And when he yelled at it, this thing stood up on two legs. And all we could see was the shadow, but it was probably about 6 feet tall. And we took off running back to the house. And I think his mom ended up taking us to school. And then we never heard or seen anything from it again.
That's terrifying.
Yes, and like it was very, like, it was weird. Like it stood up. Like I've seen dogs walk around on two legs, but this had like arms to the side and not on the front, and it was very tall. And then where he lives, they actually did a story. I forget what they called it, but like based on that here in Ohio.
Oh, did you see the Bray Road Beast? Is that what you're telling me right now, Joe Cross?
I don't remember what it was.
I think that's what it's called. I'm going to do some research for you, my friend. Serious scientific question. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being pretty cute and 10 being adorable, how cute was this creature?
It's like a 0.
I mean, but it's a dog still, right? It's a dog eating some trash. That's kind of cute.
Oh. Yes, you might be onto something. It might go up to a 3.
Okay.
But we didn't get a very good look at it, and we ran away terrified.
It's interesting that the parents tried to like protect you from seeing the goat too, because if you're like a kid and you grow up on a farm, you know, at the end of the day, like you're gonna see some stuff, you know. So it's interesting that they also tried to protect you from seeing like the dead goat.
Well, yeah, and it was weird because like the neighbors and stuff came over the next day and was all going down there and looking at it.
Yeah, that's interesting. Are you still friends with Ben? And could you like ask his parents about what really happened now that you're older?
I've never really thought about it.
Okay.
But I should. I'm still friends with them. As friends as you are. What you went to high school with?
I lie when I run into people I went to high school with and I say I went to a different high school. So that's probably not a great example for me, but I mean, I think it's a super interesting story, Joe, and I appreciate you sharing it. So I want to hear more.
I don't have more.
Well, I mean, if you ask Ben.
Well, my wife's cousin is actually Seth Breedlove that does the monster stories, like the Minerva Monster, and I think he did one on Mothman.
Ooh, I've never heard of that.
I've never met him, but he's always busy running around places.
Oh, that's cool. Maybe he can look into this beast encounter for you.
Right.
Well, I'm glad you survived the beastie, Joe, and I'm glad you came in and shared. And I'm going to look up the Bray Road Beast because I'm pretty sure it is the quote-unquote werewolf of Ohio, so.
I have no idea, but good luck on your research.
I will fill you in when I can. And thank you again, Joe. Have a good night, buddy.
All right, take care.
Ooh, that was our first like non-ghost story of the evening. Why am I supposed to be change? Everyone keeps saying change battery and smoke alarm, and I don't understand why. Oh, Braidward Beast is in Wisconsin? That was a good story, Joe. I'm like very curious now about this beastie. And also, like, I know it's bad and I know it'd eat me, but like I kind of want a whatchamacallit, werewolf, lycanthrope, like as a pet. And I know you're gonna be like, they're sentient creatures, you can't have them as a pet, but like, Dracula had one, right? So why can't I? Yeah, I think it was on Joe's end because Joe's at work. So I'm assuming it had to do with like the equipment at Joe's work. I actually am part of the anti-smoke detector. Did you guys know that? There's a subreddit for anti-smoke detector propaganda, and it's hilarious. But like, I also worry that people think it's real. That girl from Ginger Snaps 2 had a pet lycanthrope? What is Ginger Snaps? What? I don't even know what that is. I'm old. Is it Keystone Cops from the 1920s? No, I don't know what it is. Maffy knows what it is. Maffy is cool. Maffy, also, I know that your internet is not great. But if you're willing to give it a shot, we're willing to give it a shot. Because I know that Maffy has some really cool stories about a very haunted hotel that he used to spend some time in. And also, he's in a hotel now. So potentially there's some ghosts at his new place. Or Trash has volunteered to go part 2. Maybe tell us more about spooky run-ins in the haunted house. Your smoke detector has been beeping for 2 weeks, Joe? That's very upsetting. Make them fix it. Like, just for your safety. Like, I will call them and be like, my friend, Ugly Kid Joe Cross, is precious. And if he gets injured in a fire because of your negligence, I will hunt each and every one of you down with my pet lycanthrope. So. Oh, no worries. No, I will write it down. I'll add it to my list, though. We still have like 18 Bad Ben movies to watch, and then Mr. Otter actually did the redeem to pick the movie, so we also have to watch his movie. He's my husband, so he's been like way too nice to be like, hey, I redeemed this 7 months ago and you haven't done it yet, because I'll just be like, suck it. You're married to me. You're stuck with me. I'm a terrible streamer and you're stuck married to me. Deal with it. All good, all good. Cuckoo. I'm kind of freaked out. We've had a lot of scary stories, y'all. And Dan is ready. So Dan, hop on in here. Okay, so in the queue, we've got Dan, and then Trash and Maffy are maybes, and then Onion is willing to go. So very exciting. But Dan, go ahead and hop on into Discord when you're ready, and then we will hear some spooky stories. One is about aliens, and one is about a bed that was out of control maybe a little bit. So we're gonna see. Okay, I need cider. Hello.
Good evening.
It's Dan. Hi, Dan.
Hi, you. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great.
Amazing. It's so weird to like talk to you face to face because I've seen you stream, but like I've never actually spoken to you. So this is really fun, actually.
Yes, this is the first time Otter and I have spoken in a proper way. Yes. Yeah, in a verbal, real-time kind of way. But I'm just watching your expressions on stream, and it's throwing me off.
I think there's a bit of delay.
There's like, oh, hi Fiona. There's like what, a few seconds delay from your stream to what I'm hearing. Anyway.
Yeah.
How is everyone? I hope everyone's well.
We're doing good, and we are getting pretty spooked here, and I'm excited to get even more spooked to
Okay.
Hear your spooky stories. You've been teasing these, so I'm excited.
Oh my god, I've got a few. So I'll start off with one that will shit everyone's pants. So there was a murder that happened here many, many moons ago. Not in this house. But
Dan, are you confessing live? Because I need to get the Australian FBI on the line, if so. Just saying.
Joke's on you, we do not have the FBI.
I will Google the equivalent. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
No. So there was a murder in my area. A 17-year-old schoolgirl was murdered on a track not far from me. The track is very spooky before the murder happened, but now that the murder has happened, it's a lot more spooky. The murder happened in 1992, and they caught the guy. Long story short,
and then
walking that track late at night.
And then Dan, just to be clear for our American listeners, a track, is it like a hiking trail track? Is it like a railroad track?
Oh, sorry. Yes, sorry. I will clarify. It is a short track. It's roughly about to walk it start to finish. It's probably 10 minutes long.
Okay.
And it is basically, it's a gravel track, but it's a straight line. There's a slight incline, but it's a straight line. And it basically backs off into a school, a high school. So you've got a main road, and then it sort of cuts through a high school's park or oval, or play area thingy, what you would call a park, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, so one night, a friend of mine had a party. She lives on the other side of this track. I went to the party. It was great. I got quite intoxicated. And the only way I could get home was walk through the track. At 3 a.m.
Nope.
In the pitch dark.
Nope.
Walked through the track. And it didn't hit me until I got halfway through the track that I was on the track. And while I am quite skeptical of ghosts and spirits and what's not, the mind is a wonderful thing. And it tends to play tricks on you. So imagine a grown-ass man walking through a track that a murder had happened many, many moons beforehand. You're slightly intoxicated, and your mind is just going, get the fuck out of this.
I have so many questions, Dan. So, okay. First of all, you realized that you were on the haunted track, right? On your way home. Like, you were halfway there before you realized it. Would you have gone that way if you had realized it before you were there?
It was the quickest way to my house.
That is a very neat question dodge, Dan. I'm saying, would you have gone the long way if you had realized beforehand?
I could have, but the long way would have taken me at least an hour to get home.
Okay.
Whereas going through the track, I could have been home in less than 30.
Okay.
So.
That seems like a fair trade-off. I mean, I'm a coward.
Yeah.
So I probably would have still gone the long way, but I can see where maybe the trade-off happened. So what happened? Yeah. What happens next?
Well, I'll end the story in a happy note. I got home, fell asleep in bed, as most people do, and I just put it behind me. That's the end of that story.
I have a question. So when you realized, when you're halfway home, right? When you realized you're on the track, I would have immediately started sprinting because I'm an idiot. Did you in fact sprint home? Did you try to keep it together? Were you like, I can't let these ghosts see I'm scared?
I did not sprint home.
Okay.
Because I'm unfit and I didn't want to have a coronary. So I'm like, who wants 2 deaths on this track?
Fair.
You know.
Fair point.
So, well, I'm not unfit. I'll just put it out there, ladies.
I love that you and Trash are both just like, it's exposure, right? Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Amazing.
But I was basically walking faster than normal, is what I'll say. Like, I'm like, okay, I know this. I know the history of this track. I'm gonna do it. I can't turn around now. I've gone too far.
Yeah.
So I started walking faster and faster, and then I swear there was someone behind me, even though the track was deserted and it was just me. So I basically beelined it straight to the end, to the main road that basically my street is. And, yeah.
So you said you started walking faster, and just so I can get an idea of like your average walk speed, right? Because I'm 5'6". How tall are you? And you have to convert it to imperial because I'm an idiot.
Okay. First off, I don't want to insult your intelligence, the American public, but when I call the American stormtroopers because you're all imperial, so
that is a very good joke.
You're all known as stormtroopers to me. Don't judge me. So if I was to put my height into imperial for you, I'm roughly about 6 foot.
Okay, so ladies out there, what we're saying is Dan is single, has an adorable accent, and is 6 feet tall. So I'm just saying. And he's not scared of ghosts. So kind of got a winner on, or spiders. Ladies, come on. How is
cockroaches?
Trifecta right there. A tall, fearless Aussie. How often is that on the market? Come on.
I'm Bonza.
So yes, this is a dating show now, also Fox. So speaking of dating, I heard a story about a bed that you were in that would not do normal, that it wouldn't stick to its normal bed stationary routine. So
okay, so
I'm curious.
This is true. So basically, I was dating a girl in 2001.
Okay.
No, yeah, 2001. We're still friends to this day, even though we broke up years ago. So she lived with her dad in a small regional area. Okay, so my state that I live in the land down under, is called Victoria. So I live in Victoria.
Okay.
The city's called Melbourne.
Okay.
Melbourne, Fox. Melbourne. Because most people from America call it Melbourne, and it's Melbourne. Melbourne.
Okay.
It's not. We don't emphasize the R's in our dialect like you do in America. So I can understand why people do that.
Okay. So I'm spelling it Melbin, Melbourne.
There is an R, but it's silent for our pronunciation.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so she split. Her parents separated not long before me and her started dating. So she was splitting her time between her father's house and her mum's house. So her mum lived in Metro Melbourne.
Okay.
And her dad lived in regional Victoria in a place called Maryborough. And to get there was, multiple trains and all that sort of stuff. You can't really sort of get there in one sort of train ride. You had to get to the city, then have to go on a regional train and then a bus, and the sex was good. Anyway, so
it's an 18 plus stream, people. I don't know what you wanted. So it was a trek, but it was worth it. I get it. Got it.
It was worth it. It was a great relationship, but unfortunately, it went sour. Long story short, but anyway. So I would go up to her place on the weekends and spend time with her at her dad's house. And her dad bought this place, which was known to have spookies happening to it. And one of these spooky things was her bed would move by itself. Now, yes, I understand how relationships work. Get your mind out the gutter.
No, I'm just curious, like...
No, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to chat.
I'm still very curious. I'll be quiet and I'll listen to the story before I ask the 10,000 questions that are running through my head.
Okay. So basically, long story short, is her dad was quite traditional. So we weren't able to sleep in the same bed while we were there. Mm-hmm. So I would normally sleep in the lounge room and she would sleep in her own bed. But one night she woke up and she woke me up and she's like, I can't sleep in my bed anymore. And I'm like, why? And she's like, it's moving. It's shaking. And I'm like, what do you mean it's shaking? Like, is it shaking like an earthquake? Or is it shaking like someone's rocking you to sleep? Or, you know, I need some specifics. And she's like, it's like someone's like lullabying you to bed.
No. Too spooky.
Like a gentle shake. And I'm like, I'm like, Lisa, that was her name. Well, her name, because she's still alive, I should say that. I'm like, Lisa, I love you, but go back to sleep. It's like 2 a.m. You know, we've got a big day tomorrow. It's like, I can't sleep in there. Anyway, so long story short, she won the argument and I ended up sleeping in her bed.
Did anything, did you experience any of this?
Yes.
What happened?
I basically got into the bed and I laid down, and within about a couple of seconds, the bed started shaking.
I hate it.
It started like, it was basically like someone was basically rocking it back and forth.
That is terrifying. So
I will now open this to questions.
Did you fall asleep or were you just like laying there petrified all night?
I fell asleep.
So Dan is fearless. So you let a ghost rock you to sleep is what you're telling us here, Dan.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I would have been out the window. I would have been like, nope, I'm walking home. Screw this. Gone.
And no, Fox, it wasn't a waterbed. Although that would have been interesting if it was a waterbed.
So there was no... Well, first of all, I want to say, hi, Otter Crossing. Welcome in. And then also, Coyote, I saw you come in. Hello, friends. We're just telling spooky stories, and Dan is very brave. So you're still friends with Lisa.
Greetings and salutations to you all.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. So you're still friends with Lisa. Was it just that one night that happened, or had this been something that happened previously?
It was multiple nights.
Oh.
Ever since she moved in there with her dad, she had told me that it was happening pretty much every night, and she ignored it for many times. But at that stage, she'd only been in the house for about a week.
Okay.
And that was my first weekend up there. Yeah, so that
wild.
was the story of the moving bed.
That is wild. Well, thank you so much for that subscription, Coyote. I appreciate you. 4 months. Let's go. So how long did they stay in the house? Are they still in the house?
Okay, so Lisa and I, that relationship went for about 7 months.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it as a lot of people may or may not know with relationships, it can get a bit messy when you break up. And so we've never spoken about it since.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was interesting. But then I would like to tell you another story.
Yes. I think we're all in for another Dan story.
Yes. Gather around, kids. Marshmallows if you got them.
Fairy toast if you got it.
Yeah. Smokes if you got them. So where I live, I'm gonna have to be careful how I say this because I don't want to dox myself.
Yes,
But-
do not give us your specific street address. So like where I live, which is at 123 Howard Holt Street.
Yeah, that's how did you know?
I just doxed Dan. I'm sorry, everyone. Please do not
My
go to
God,
Dan's house.
I need to have to change my address now to 1234 Made Up Street. Okay, so, yeah, maybe I should explain Howard Holt to people.
I think I've talked about Howard Holt before. I think we'll save him for another night because that's a good one. But yeah, Fox is dying.
I will cliffhang people on that one before I leave this call.
Fox is dying to hear about the aliens, so we can't keep her in waiting anymore.
We'll get straight. I'll talk about the aliens. I promised Fox I'll explain the aliens to you. Okay, so this happened in, I think it was around 93, might have been 92. I was a lot younger and a lot stupider back then. Anyway, so family friends moved to they moved away. They used to live close to us, but they moved to a regional area called Tocumwal, which is on the Victoria-New South Wales border, and the Murray River actually goes straight through it. It's a giant river. It's cool. Swam through it multiple times. Yes, ladies, I'm impressive. Okay, so
Dan is fully using the show as a way to meet chicks, and I'm not even mad. The stories are good. It's good.
aliens in the story. I'll go on a date. Oh wow.
Dan, I freaking love you. You've got a fan club in here, my man.
My God. Really?
I think between you and Trash, we've got ourselves like a bachelor's auction at this point. The next time I need to raise money for charity, I'm just putting you two on the block. Give me in charity money for dates with Dan and Trash. Let's go.
Okay, so this happened. So we had friends who moved to Tocumwal. Now Tocumwal, to get there, it's roughly about 4-ish hours to drive. So we left home and drove up there. There was me, my mum, my two brothers. Yes, I have two brothers. And my cousin who was visiting from England. We got into the car and we drove up there. On the way up there is a town in regional Victoria called Shepparton. Now Shepparton is an area of mass UFO activity. And there's all sorts of strange things get seen there, like lights in the sky, orbs, and all sorts of stuff. So we were going through there. We were in one of the back roads. Now, a back road is not the main road of the town. It's kind of like, as the name implies, it's a back road. So it gets you around the town without actually going through the town. It's like saying, I'm taking the back streets to get home. Sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so this road was pitch black, gum trees either side, farms as far as the eye can see, sometimes a bit hilly and stuff like that, but yeah. And we're traveling along there. Now, I wasn't driving because I was below the driving age. So my mum was driving the car, I believe it was, yeah. And we're driving through Shepparton. It was about 9:30, 9:45 at night. And as I said, there's like gum trees, fields, farms, whatever you want to call them. And we were passing this stretch of farm, and in their field they had kind of like a hill thing. Top of the hill, there was something strange, which I could describe it as a disc shape that was dark and like you couldn't really see it, but there were lights orbiting around this shape. Kind of picture it like if you ever see animation of atoms and you see how the neurons and stuff go around the atom. Think about it like that.
Yeah, like science.
Yeah, science.
Protons.
And so we sort of going through this road, we spot it. It was roughly about, let me convert this for you. It was roughly about, I would say, 40, 50 feet away from us.
Okay,
What's
so
that in yards?
that's half an American football field, I think. Wait, no. Those are in yards. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a while. It was a ways.
Yeah. So it was close enough but far enough.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Okay, Fiona says that's
And this
15
thing-
yards.
Okay, 15 yards. Thank you, Fiona. So, and it was roughly about 20 feet off the ground, hovering. We spot it, and we just all sort of look out the car window, kind of like, what the hell is that? Sort of thing. And we just kept our eyes on it as we passed it. Then when we're about, so Shepparton to where our destination was probably another maybe hour and a half away. So we had a lot of time to talk about it in the car. It wasn't on top of me, Matt.
I mean, that's pretty close.
It was close, but yeah.
That's wild. So
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
You go. No, you go.
I was just gonna start asking questions.
Okay, so I'll basically, long story short, we went, what the hell was that? That's interesting. I was sure it wasn't a water tower or something like that, because, as most people do, they try and think of the rational thoughts. It's like, oh, it's a water tower. Oh, maybe someone was having a bonfire and it was some embers that flew up from the, or something, stuff like that.
A weather balloon of some kind.
Or
yeah.
weather balloon, or swamp gas reflecting the sunlight or something, the moonlight or some crazy batshit thing like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we get to our destination and we tell the people that we're seeing, the family friends that we're going to, and we're like, question, is there any type of water towers or light fixtures or anything along that stretch of road? And they're all like, no. And we're just like, well, we've just seen a UFO. Now, just because we call it a UFO does not necessarily mean it was alien.
Yeah.
Because UFO just means it's unidentified. So
That's true. It's just an unidentified flying object.
yeah, absolutely. So that's the UFO story. As far as I know, from what I remember, nothing weird happened after we saw that. There was no men in black suits. There was nothing like that.
Okay.
So yes.
That's wild. So we have some questions. So
Go.
was this kind of like, you mentioned that this area is a hot spot for UFOs. So
Yes.
was this some kind of in line with other sightings in the area, or was there sort of a variety of sightings, or I'm just curious.
Yeah, there's been multiple sightings of weird phenomenon in Shepparton. So there's been lights in the sky being spotted. There's been, weird things happening. I'm not sure if they've had any crop circles, but there have been, weird sightings of weird things like lights and strange phenomena, if you want to be so bold and call it that. Or it could just be a bunch of kids piss farting around and, nothing better to do with themselves.
Yeah. Or I mean, it sounds like a remotish area, so maybe some government testing too. You never know.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
Because, it's a quiet area, it's desolate, it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Not many people would have gone through that area at the time. And if they did, if you tell people, be like, oh yeah, UFO, right, sure, yeah, whatever you reckon.
I have one last question for you, Dan, and it is a vitally important question. I'm not going to say it's life or death, but it's close.
Okay.
There are 2 birds in Australia that I think are freaking adorable, and I want to know which one you think is cuter. Is it the kookaburra or is it a cockatoo? Which one is cuter?
Okay. So I get both these birds around here.
Okay.
Kookaburras are quite adorable. So I don't know, have you ever heard them laugh?
Yes, and it's the cutest thing I've ever heard.
Okay, cool. So yeah, when a kookaburra laughs, it basically laughs like a human. It's the most craziest thing you ever hear, especially if you're in the middle of nowhere and you just hear this bird laughing at you.
Okay, so actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's cute, but if I was with you walking home drunk, inebriated on that high school track, I would be a little creeped out hearing that in the middle of the night.
Okay, well, first thing, they're not nocturnal animals, so they sleep during the night. So you only hear them in the day.
That's good. Okay, because that would be creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, cockatoos, on the other hand, are vicious fucking little birds.
That's what I love about them. That is what I love about cockatoos. They just destroy people's lives, and it's adorable.
So there's 2 species of cockatoos that you see around here.
Oh.
That you've got white cockatoos,
Mm-hmm.
and you actually have black cockatoos.
I had no idea that was a thing.
So the black cockatoos are really hard to spot. If you were to see them, I saw them. So me and my brother, my younger brother Joel, a couple of months ago, we went on a photography expedition. So where I live, I'm surrounded by beaches. I live on a bay, and then not far from me, I can get to the open ocean as well. So we've got a lot of interesting coastline. I like birds.
I do like birds, and that's why I'm excited to learn about them. They're cool. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, so black cockatoos are really hard to find. You can hear them, but they're not very easy to spot because they stay high up in trees. The only way you can really spot them is if you see them, because they've got massive wingspans, and they squawk like all buggery, and they will sit in like pine trees and eat the pine cones and just drop them from the top of the tree down to the bottom.
That's adorable.
I have photos of them.
Yes, put them in Discord immediately, please.
They're kind of hard to see because they're hiding behind because my camera, I don't have a good, I'm only capped at like 70 millimeters, so I don't have like telephoto type lens, so it's hard to see them, but I will show you pictures of them.
That is amazing. Well, Dan, you gave us
they'll claw you to death.
That's the cutest part. Like cockatoos just causing problems and laughing evilly, because pet cockatoos learn like the supervillain laugh, and it's super cute. And thank you for coming in and giving us spooky stories, and then giving us a little bit of levity with birds. I feel like we were all getting a little spooked, so we needed to lighten the mood a little bit and talk about some cute critters.
Before we end this, I will say that if I had a choice between bin chickens, and cockatoos, I will take a cockatoo any day.
Oh, of course. Bin chickens are the worst of burps. I love burps, and bin chickens are shit burps. I do not. They are terrible creatures.
Well, the scientific name for a bin chicken is ibis. They're ibises.
Yeah, and I always thought ibises were cool because of ancient Egyptian stuff, and then bin chickens have ruined Egyptology for me.
We don't get them down here because it's too cold. But
Good.
if you go to Sydney or Queensland, you'll see them everywhere.
Wait, so does that mean global warming potentially means bin chickens are gonna attack you, Dan?
No. Because where I live, we have 4 seasons in one day.
Okay.
It is absolutely okay. So it's the middle of spring now,
Which is why the
it is-
Pikachus are hibernating.
Yeah, absolutely. No matter how many times I played Party Rock Anthem, they just didn't do anything. I almost got kicked out of the department store. Anyway, people just don't understand science.
They really don't. They're ignorant. It's fine. Well, thank you so much for coming in and hanging in, Dan. I can say I
You're
really
welcome.
enjoyed
It's
hanging
good
out
to
with
see
you.
you.
It was so good to see you, and chat absolutely adored you. So I hope you'll come back for our next storytime session and tell us more stories.
I will be there with bells on. Asterisk, there's no bells. Okay, goodbye.
Have a good one, Dan.
You too. Bye-bye.
Welcome in, friends who have joined us mid-phone call. And sorry for ignoring chats during calls. I always want to give my callers full attention because they're being kind enough to share their stories with us. If you guys don't know Dan, please go follow Dan. That Dan guy is an awesome streamer and someone with a lot of interesting stories to share. So we're so lucky to have him as part of our little Twitch family that we have here going on. So, welcome in, Coyote. I saw you pop in. I saw Otter Crossing pop in earlier, my otter twin. And then you appreciated being ignored. It was a good format. Well, I will ignore you anytime. No, welcome on in. And then AFK Cats on Fire, welcome in to the Thunder. So tonight we are telling spooky stories, Commander Zendar. We just heard about, we've had aliens, we've had ghosts, we've had me and Amity confusing household objects for ghosts and getting really scared and then trying to fight them. And then we've had all sorts of good stuff. So next up on our queue of callers is Maffy. Maffy, if you're still around and you want to come in. We also had astral projections. What was it? Do you think it was an astral projection? It's like an out-of-body experience. So you think you were just astrally projected above yourself, Fiona? Or was it more of like a sleep? I don't know. It's so. Also, I was wondering, a raven is like a writing desk because it can produce a few notes, so therefore flat and is never put with the wrong end in front. Wait, what? I don't understand the riddle. I'm too stupid. Break it down. Smaller words. So it's projection because you could see you and your girlfriend? That's so wild. Lewis Carroll was probably stoned, yeah. Cheshire Cat, let's go. Was it the Cheshire Cat that was always stoned, or was it the caterpillar? I think it was the caterpillar. Onion, if you're still around and you're willing to give us a story, I know Maffy isn't sure about his internet connection, so if he's here, he can hop in. Or Onion, if you're still here and you want to go, then go ahead and hop in. Okay, Maffy's gonna try, so we'll get him up first, and then if Onion's still around, we'll get Onion up next. You got this, Maffy. We believe in you. We believe in your internet connection. Also, I don't even know what that was. I was like, I had a thought, and then it just disappeared out of my brain. The ghosts came and they took it. Oof. Oh, here's what I was gonna say. If you have a story and you would like to call in, hop into the Discord and drop your name in the queue so I know that you want to talk, and then we can talk. And Maffy is in. I think I have a Maffy on the line.
That's still me, Dan. You forgot to hang up. No, I'm just kidding.
Chad is already saying we love you, Maffy. Welcome on in. You are our first repeat caller. How exciting is that?
Oh, I'm excited. Right. So, I'll start with a little bit of history, right? We sort of inherited a hotel from my uncle when he died. The hotel itself is over 150 years old, and it's still on a working dock, so ships are still coming in and out. It's right on the waterfront. The hotel has got like a bar attached to it, and my mum hired a psychic medium to come and do like a reading, for the customers. Her name is Suzanne Gill. You can look her up. She's quite famous. She solved like a very cold case murder in a pub called the Wheat Chief, of like a little girl or something.
Oh.
So she does the reading, and she tells us that there's 3 ghosts in the hotel that she can see, and a lot more that she can't, but she can feel. The one on the very top floor was an old man in like a black top hat, and he hung himself in one of the rooms, and she said that he's mean and she doesn't like him. And then there's a ghost that just walks around the whole place, but it doesn't speak or look anyone in the eye. And then lastly, there's the ghost of like a young boy in the cellar with no shoes on, and his legs are like deformed with possibly like rickets or malnutrition. And she said he speaks with an Irish accent, so she says he could have come over from the potato famine, and then for whatever reason, he died in there, because the hotel actually used to be like a tobacco warehouse. So, it could have been people working there. So, we carried on through the cellar, and when I went down to the cellar, there was only ever to like change, barrels for the pub, or go and get Christmas decorations. But we explored the cellar because she wanted to see if there was more ghosts, and we kept on going further and further and further, and I just realised that the cellar just seemed to go on forever. Like, it went on a lot longer than the hotel, the building boundaries. It got out under the car park, and eventually we just had to stop because, there was just tunnel after tunnel after tunnel. And, we just didn't know what was down there. We were quite a bit of distance away from the hotel. So anyway, we come back, the medium leaves. A few weeks later, I'm a very skeptical person, and my dad is the most skeptical person there ever was. None of us, believe in ghosts, but we used to work like night shifts, and I'm working on a night shift, and I fall asleep as I normally do because I was a terrible employee, and I wake up, and out of the corner of my eye, I can see that someone was looking at me through like a pane of glass. And I looked over, and by the time I looked over, there was nothing there. But I always just like put it down to, being tired. And then a couple of nights later, my dad was working in the hotel, and the hotel was empty at the time. We were waiting for people to check in, and he was in the kitchen doing whatever. And as he turned round, someone walked past reception into the bar, and he walked out and thought it was a customer who was lost. And when he went in the bar, there was just no one there. It disappeared.
Eek.
So that's the ghost story, man.
Okay, so first of all, you've got like the haunted trifecta, because you're like old building, hotel, which tragedies always happen in hotels, by a working dock, and it used to be a warehouse of some kind. Do you want ghosts? Because that's how you get ghosts, and you got some ghosts.
Yeah, I used to stay. I work nights there, and when the hotel was empty, I just used to fall asleep. You know what I mean? And it never bothered me. I was never afraid of like ghosts. So yeah,
when you were like going through the cellar, you never got like that feeling of fear or like. Bleh.
Only thing, I'm quite claustrophobic, and each hole that we went through was getting narrower and narrower and narrower.
Oh.
And then eventually, I'm not going any further.
Eesh.
But I mean, I'm not sure, because the thing is, we had like flooding one time in the cellar, So I'm convinced that if we would have carried on going, eventually it would have led out to the river.
Oh, probably, because if it was a warehouse and like a tobacco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, another thing that I forgot, down in the cellar as well. As I said, we kept on going further and further and further. One of the rooms had a fireplace in it, so we think that obviously people were living down there at some point.
That's very creepy. I don't like that. That's very creepy.
But yeah, and then
because you're making me feel fear, and that makes me feel weak, and you're British, you're part of the UK, so my American anger towards your people is coming out. We've discussed this. You know how I get.
I know how you feel. It's okay.
So I'm gonna point out some things. First of all, for your psychic to be like, I don't know, he's probably a little Irish kid who started the famine. That's effed up. That's a little effed up. I'm not gonna lie, psychic lady. Just being like, I don't know, they're Irish. They probably starved the famine. That's a little bit typecasting. I'm just gonna say it.
You know, you're not psychics, so like they like to put their own little story together, don't they? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's
the
a
night
good.
Before,
oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say the night before. You know, she explored the hotel. She did the whole, you know, John Edwards psychic medium cold reading bullshit on the crowd. So, you know, she's one of them. But I mean, for what it's worth, I've looked up this pub that she went to and solved this murder, apparently, and it did happen, apparently. So, you know, maybe the jury's out.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. I want to look it up. Also, if I come to Liverpool, can I still stay in this hotel?
Yes, you can. We did sell it, but, you know, it is still there. It is still operating as a hotel, so you can stay there.
Ooh, you should send me the name on DM, and then I'll look it up and see if there's people complaining about ghosts waking them up in the night.
I will do.
Awesome. Well, thank you for calling in, Maffy. That was I wanted to hear more about the spooky hotel, so I'm excited. I'm excited I finally got to hear all the juicy details.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Have a good night, Maffy. Cade! Hello! Welcome in, Cade and Raiders. How's it going? Cade Raid, Cade Raid, Cade Raid. Welcome on in, friends. How are you? My name is Otter. I am dressed up like a fox tonight, so you can call me Fox Otter. I don't know, but we're telling spooky stories, so if you're afraid of the dark, then be forewarned. But welcome in, Cade. Anyone who is in my chat who has not already met and is following the wonderful Cade, then please go do so. A wonderful DBD streamer, friend of the community, fellow D&D nerd, just awesome person all the way around.
Oh, I want to throw something at Laird. There we go. Hey, Laird. Yes. Put your hands up. I'm gonna mug you.
Cade's got puns. I like it. And the bottom-tiss, yes. You're playing some Resident Evil with the art lady. Wait, no, it's not art lady, is it? That's what it's in Discord? I don't know. Sorry. But welcome on in. How is Resident Evil? It is art lady. Okay, I was like, that's a weird thing to say now that I'm saying it out loud. But welcome in, folks. We're just telling scary stories. So if you have a spooky story that you want to share with everyone, then hop in Discord and you can hop on a call and tell us about it. So far, we've heard about aliens, we've heard about ghosts, we've heard about astral projection, we've heard about the time that I thought a humidifier was a ghost and tried to fight it. Someone else had the same experience with a trash bag, so at least I'm not the only one. AFK Cats on Fire, you are in the queue, but you are not up next. Actually, I have Trash up next, followed by Onion. So Trash, if you're still in chat, then we can have you hop back in. Trash back by popular demand. Or Trash, if you headed to bed, we can have Onion hop on in. But welcome on in, friends, and thank you again for that raid, Cade. I appreciate you. Hey, and thank you for that follow, Murph and PB. I am going to be ignoring chat and tuning into callers, just so you guys know I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to be a nice host because people are coming in and willing to share their stories with us. And with that, we're welcoming back the excellent Trash. Hello.
Hey, second time, long time.
Welcome back in, Trash. So for those of you who are just joining us, Trash told us a really spooky story earlier about a haunted house he lived in right after college. So I'm curious to hear, what is this next story?
Okay, so I've got 3, and I'm going to let you pick between them. So the first one is very quick, and it has to do with the land that I live on now. The second one is kind of quick, but it still has to do with the same house. And the third one, totally different place, still freaks me out to this day, and I cannot explain it and still have no explanation for it.
I want number 3 because it sounds the scariest.
Okay. So, I was probably 12 or 13. I was young enough to where I couldn't drive.
Okay.
And so my parents divorced pretty early. So every summer I would go hang out with my mom. So one summer I'm going to go hang out with her, and she's dating this guy that lives on a lake. So I was like, cool. You know, normally go down to my grandmother's, but this time I'm like, yeah, of course I want to go stay at the lake. That's awesome. So this oh, go ahead.
Lakes are always haunted. Just to be really clear, lakes are always haunted.
Oh yeah, this one for sure. So this is called Lake Weiss. It's in Alabama. So yeah, like it's dead on the lake. It's not like you're a little bit off. It's on the lake. So I'm hanging out there, and this guy, his mother was bedridden. I saw her once. She stayed in this room that was downstairs, but it was kind of that, like, I was young anyway, but it was that scary old lady. Something just wasn't right about her.
Yeah.
So, second night there, and I'm sleeping downstairs on like a couch in the middle of the room, and her bedroom was downstairs as well. So every night there's a TV on in there, and this night it is extremely loud, like to the point TVs can't get this loud, and I can't sleep. It wakes me up, and it sounds like people are screaming. There are like chairs being thrown across a room. It sounds like a struggle.
Ooh.
So I'm laying there listening to this for about an hour, and finally I go up, I wake up my mom, I say, hey, I don't know how she's asleep. I can't sleep. Can you maybe turn that off? So she goes in there, knocks on the door, of course, goes in there. The TV's on, but it is extremely quiet. So my first thought, that's a commercial. Hang out down here for a minute. When it goes back to the whatever Jean-Claude Van Damme action movie she's in there watching, you're going to hear this house tearing down again. So, of course, she hangs out for a minute. It doesn't get loud again. She goes back upstairs. I lay down, go to sleep. I wake up again, and it is again screaming, yelling, stuff getting thrown, something's going on.
Ooh.
I finally just pass out from being just too tired to even deal with it.
Yeah.
Wake up the next morning, and I'm out on their dock. I think I was fishing. And my mom comes, gets me, says, hey, we're going to go. They're dealing with some stuff. So we go. I get back to my grandmother's house. And they don't really say anything. But I find out that the mother died that night. And they found her, like, out of her bed. And she couldn't get out of her bed on her own. So they found her out of the bed, like, not like a pretzel, but kind of folded up in a weird way. But like, I have no explanation. It was never talked about again. I don't think she ever saw the guy again. But like, to this day, sticks with me. I can never see like an old bedridden person without thinking about it.
That is terrifying. So your mom went in there, the TV was normal volume, and the lady was alive.
Well, she may have been dead, but we thought she was asleep.
Oh, that's crazy trash. That's scary. I don't even have questions. That's just scary.
Yeah. That's
'Cause
it, man.
I'm already scared of old people, and then when they start doing haunted stuff, it gets even scarier.
Yeah. I don't know if she was doing haunted stuff or she was just like getting down in there to some action movie. Whatever it was was too much for old Gam's heart.
I hope that, like, it was her time, you know, and she got her final second wind, and she just, like, threw a freaking rager, like, just raged out, had a great time, and then passed that way. That's how I want to go out, you know?
That's exactly what it was. That's what we go with.
Okay. Thank you for calling back in and telling us a short and sweet one, Josh. You are a fan favorite here, so we appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Ooh, Steven Seagal just got 2 epics. Some hot girl summer going on. That's a creepy one, though. Lakes are always very creepy. To me, I don't know. They're just a lot creepier than anything else. Also, the Pacific Ocean is a lot creepier than the Atlantic Ocean. And if you disagree with that, then I will fight you. So feel free to call in about it. Next up in the queue, I have Onion. Onion, are you still here? Are you still willing to tell us a little spooky story? It's because they're usually out and isolated and there's a place to drown. Yeah, it's that. And then I think like, I think it's like, because they're deep and cold and still, you know? Dude, the Pacific is so big compared to the Atlantic. The Atlantic is like shallow and full of pee-pee. I don't know. I say that about the Atlantic Ocean and then I realize it's a very rude thing to say. But the Pacific is like darker and colder and deeper and bigger. And the Atlantic is like, when I think about the Atlantic, I think of like co-eds on the beach in Georgia. You know, it's not the same level of creepy. It's not rocky and like cold and I don't know. Maybe I just haven't been to the right parts of the Atlantic. I don't know. But speaking of things that are not oceans, we have our friend Unholy Onion, who is ready to tell us their spooky story. Welcome to the show, Onion. How's it going? Onion, I think you gotta unmute because we can't hear you yet.
Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you. Hi, friend. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm excited to hear this spooky story.
All right. So I got a couple pretty short ones. The first one was I was like maybe like 6 years old, and I had just been laying in bed, kind of like I'd been awake for a while already, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just hear a man at the top of his lungs, like baritone, like yelling opera, and then like immediately following that was just like a woman screaming, like the kind of screams you only hear in movies, and it was like blood curdling. And then I just heard like footsteps like running away.
I hate that. Were you in your normal house at the time?
Yeah, I was. And yeah, I think about that a lot, because it's like I had definitely been like awake for a long time. It wasn't like a dream or anything, and it was just so like out of nowhere.
Did anything else creepy happen in that house, or was it just that one incident?
It was just that one thing, and it sounded like it was coming from like the street.
Oh.
And it was like happening outside, like maybe like just across the street, and like I heard the footsteps running across like the pavement. But yeah, I've never forgotten that.
That's wild. Yeah, no, I wouldn't forget that either. That's certainly something you remember.
My second one was locally around here. There was like this old mansion that burned down mysteriously, and it was like private property and all like gated off for a long time, and all that was left was like the burnt remains of the old mansion and this massive courtyard that was just like a maze of like plants and like statues of various kinds.
Ooh.
And of course, naturally, my friend and I decided to hop the fence there late in the evening and just like hang out there, walk around, do whatever.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to go. Is it still there? Can I go?
I think they eventually leveled the whole thing, unfortunately, because it was cool to look at. Like, even just driving by it, it was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But we went there and like we were hanging out there for a while, and then finally it became went from like evening to just completely nighttime. And there's no lights back there or anything, so we're just like walking around with like our cell phone lights, and I'm like panning across various things like on the ground to see, and then like my phone like light just like happens to flash in front of the statue that's just like right in front of me of like it's like the mansion's super old, so all the statues are old too, and it's like a statue of like a monster with like one missing eye, and it was just like super strange. And like the other eye that was still there was like this gem, and it was just super odd statue. But we're just kind of like hanging around there for a little bit more, and then all of a sudden near us, we didn't hear anything the whole time, no footsteps, no anything, and then all of a sudden just the sound of glass breaking, just like one after the other, like some like bottles falling on the ground, shattering, just like constantly nonstop, like unlimited things being thrown on the ground, shattering. And we both just kind of just like, what the fuck? And we hightailed it to the fence that we jumped over. Like we climbed over the fence before, but that time it was like an 8-foot fence. We just like jumped over the whole thing and ran to his car and drove away.
That's terrifying. Yeah, bolting is the right choice in that situation. Just to be 100% clear, running away as fast as possible is the right thing to do. So was there any like history of this mansion? Were there like local legends of people experiencing creepy stuff in that spot, or?
There were always people kind of just like, it was an odd property because it was like all the homes in the area were like pretty much houses in this area get like purchased, and then people demo it and then just like build a newer styled house. But this was like kind of like a one like old burnt down remains of a house that's like super old style in the middle of like all these new homes. So people always kind of felt like sketchy about it and stuff like that. It was gated off, but like nothing was ever like done to it for a really long time. And so people always kind of referred to it as kind of like this funky, spooky place.
Ooh. Well, I'm bummed they leveled it because I would love to go, but I'm glad that you went and had a super creepy experience. But also I'm glad that you're safe and didn't get eaten by a ghost.
So am I.
Well, thank you for calling in, Onion, and we appreciate the story. That was a good one.
Thanks for having me. This has been an awesome stream.
Awesome. Thanks, Onion. I appreciate you. Spooky Cat Kevin, welcome in to the Cade raid. How's it going, my friend? You were not late. They were early. You're fashionably late because you were a catto, and so you're always on time, Mr. Kevin. Welcome in. Next on the queue is Kane had to jump, so we up next have AFK Cats on Fire. Kevin, the spooky stories are going so good. I'm not sleeping tonight. We've heard about ghosts and astral projection and aliens and ghosts in hotels and ghosts who throw glass at people, which is not a nice thing to do. So it's good. And hey, we have AFK Cats on Fire on the line, and you should be able to unmute and say hello. Maybe. I think, we're having some technical difficulties. Hello?
Hello? Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go. Now I can hear you. Welcome on in. How's it going?
It's going. Is my audio okay? I always have output issues with Discord. Plus, I'm just really loud.
Yeah, you sound good. It sounds just like a little quiet. So if you can like talk right into the mic, I think that'll help out.
I'm talking right into the mic. I'm just trying not to be like 100% myself because I'm so loud.
Okay. No, it sounded normal. Like when you started that sentence, you sounded like a good volume.
That's how it always starts.
That's how it always starts. I promise I will yell at you when you get too loud. For those of you who don't know AFK Cats on Fire, he and I actually went to high school together. So like he is an old IRL friend. And
Indeed.
we will not be doxing one another tonight, hopefully, but I might.
I was going over it in my head. I was like, okay, how to explain this without giving away key details about like who we are or where we're from.
It's all good. Well, I'm excited to hear this one. I'm excited to hear what you got for us.
You've heard this before. It's been a while though, but this, I mean, like, so this didn't happen to me. So, like, full disclosure, but it is like the creepiest story that I've ever heard that's happened to like a person. It's not a ghost story. It's just RL, not cool, scary nonsense.
I know exactly what story you're gonna tell, and I hate it, and I love it. I hate it, and I love it. No.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So there was this girl that I went to high school with that I knew, mutual friend of like my main friend group. Really just kind of started hanging out with us like the summer of like high school graduation and stuff, and then she was gonna leave and go to college about 2 hours away from everybody else and whatnot. And she had like a whole thing set up where like her parents and like a few of her friends' parents, they'd all like pitched in to like give them like a house where they could like, you know, stay and go to college as some do sometimes. But she went there early. Like she arrived like 2 weeks or so, maybe a little earlier than that, like before anyone else showed up. The timeline doesn't entirely matter. The point is, so she's in this house, she's living there alone. And she was working at a restaurant and, you know, had experienced some stuff with like supposedly like a weird customer before. They're just weird stuff, but like didn't really think anything of it. But like there was an incident where several incidents actually, where she apparently heard sounds in like her attic or whatever, or just like, you know, just weird bumping and thumping, or just weird shit. Like you don't even know what's going on. I mean, maybe the house is settling. You're in a house by yourself. I mean, you know, if you've ever like house sitted in like for your parents and you're on one side of the house and you hear like a noise somewhere, you're like, ugh, what's that? And you get all scared. And so I think she like wrote it off a couple of times. But like one night got particularly creeped out, like didn't know what was going on. And so she called the police. And she is downstairs, and then apparently hears shouting upstairs and shit, and these cops had found a dude who had apparently gotten into her crawl space and like had installed cameras in her house and had like a fucking stash of knives in there and everything, and like was like watching her, and she was like alone for like, and they didn't even know how long he'd been there. But like, and I probably got ahead of myself. Telling the thing about the restaurant sort of gives the game away right away. But like, yeah, apparently she found out later that like some dude had like asked about her, and like they gave like her phone number to him, and like all this like really upsetting, just not okay stuff, you know. But yeah, it's like, and like we heard about that, we're just like, wait, what? Like how? Like how does something like that even go down? But yeah, I mean, apparently that dude was just hanging out there, and like she had no idea. Like apparently she'd like noticed weird things, like things maybe being out of place, food missing, but again, you know, just didn't really think anything of it. Was just trying to live her life, go to work, come home, whatever. And yeah, that happened to her.
Thanks. I hate it.
It's pretty much, I mean, that's anyone's worst nightmare, but especially a woman's, right? It's like, good lord. Like,
just
what?
Anytime anyone's like living in your walls, that's just not, that's not the ideal scenario. Like, when you think your house is haunted, my immediate mind is like, I hope to God it's a ghost. I hope it's a ghost. I don't need a sketchy guy with dirty fingernails living in the walls. That's not what I need, you know? Like, give me a headless horseman any day over, you know?
As opposed to something that probably actually is going to kill you.
Yeah, a headless horseman. He was an officer, probably, right? Like, he's got to have some decorum.
He's got nice armor on, you know?
Yeah, he's a stand-up gentleman, because he had good posture when he got his head cut off, probably, but...
Well, it's like his grievances are also legitimate, right? And they're probably not against you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a filthy colonial, so he's probably not happy about that, but...
Look, we don't talk about it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I'm prisoner of war, we got some rights, but the dirty fingernail man in the walls, that's not good. That's not good.
Yeah, it was like a whole horror show. None of us could even believe it. I mean, again, I did hear this, you know, secondhand, but you know, it's like, well, I don't know why she would make it up, but still. It's like, even in concept, it's like, ugh, it's a nightmare. It's like every time you hear a bump in the night, it's like, well, we always tell ourselves, oh, you're just being crazy. Like, oh, it's nothing. Don't even worry about it. But
yeah, it's just, it's a raccoon, you know?
Yeah, no. And it's like, no, worry about it. Like, really worry about it.
So, I did not sleep for probably 6 months after the first time you told me this story.
It's bad. It's a bad one.
It's a very bad story. Also, I'm gonna volunteer you to tell another story because I'm mean and it's my stream and I get to.
Well, I've told this in chat before, but is it the one I'm thinking of?
It's the one where we were in Flagstaff and I was staying at my parents' house and you came to pick me up and I was alone in the house.
I forgot about that.
And there was a light on, and you made me go back into the house alone to turn it off. And
I was also the one that implied, I was like, that wasn't on when you left. Like,
yeah.
That was off. And you were like, was it really? I was like, yeah, dude, I don't know. Yeah, it was a far more successful prank than I had intended it to be. I actually felt bad.
It was like 3 months after you told me the story about the homeless man trying to murder the woman by living in her home. And then you pick me up and there's an empty house behind me. And I'm like, oh, I thought that light was off. And you're like, that light was off. You need to go turn that light back off. And I was like, but there's a murderer in the house. And you're like, no, you got to go turn the light off. And I was like, damn it. And I did it because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, whatever. It was good. It was fine. I knew that you had, in fact, not turned it off. I was just fully being a jerk. I'm sorry. I was a bad friend.
Okay. Well, at least now I know that was what actually happened.
I told you then as well. It didn't change the trauma that you experienced.
Well, I forgot about that part. But no, I think now I know what story you were going to tell about also scaring me again. So you're now welcome to tell that one as well.
Fine.
We're just going to relive all of the trauma that you've caused me.
I have told this one in chat before, but yeah, it was the Otter here was hosting a friendly get together, and we did this often, every month, every other month. Her parents would leave town, she'd house sit, we'd have a shindig. It was always fun, and I show up one night. Like, I can't remember what the time you said was, but the point is I showed up early, and I hit the doorbell, I ding dong it, and I stand there and like, you didn't show up. And I was like, well, what the heck? And then I was like, oh, well, I figure she must be out back having a cigarette or something. Like, why else would she not hear the doorbell? So like there was a gate on the side of the house. So I was like, yeah, well, I'll just go through the gate and I'll go meet her back there and just be like, what up? And it would be all good, And so I go and I walk into her backyard by like the pool, the patio and stuff. And she's not there. And I'm like, oh, okay. What the heck? And then, so I'm literally like, by her like glass doors and windows and stuff. And then I see her come walking in. So she must have been like in a different wing of the house. Maybe she had the TV on. I don't know, but she didn't hear the doorbell. And so she's like looking at her dog. Like, they had this like doggy door that was like right by the glass windows, like right by like the table patio area, like right outside. And so she's not looking outside, like, where normally in your periphery you'd see like a figure, you'd see something moving probably, but she's like tuned in on the dog, looking down, like, and the dog has probably heard me or sees me, smells me, I don't know. And she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, this will be really funny. I'm just going to walk up and try to spook her. And I was able to get close, and she's literally right by the window. And so I'm able to walk all the way up to her, and she still doesn't know I'm there until I slap both hands against the window and have my face, like, literally a foot from her face. And I got an audible, holy shit!
Trauma.
It couldn't have worked out better. Like I couldn't have planned it. It was perfect timing, and I fell over in stitches laughing, and she's like trying to like calm down. Like, she gives me a hug and she's shaking, and I'm like both proud and sad at my work. It was really funny.
Are you looking at the stream right now?
Yeah, you're delayed a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, buddy. Well, thank you for calling in and telling everyone my trauma.
It's nice to talk to you. We should catch up soon, for real. But
I would appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, it'd be nice to catch up off stream and we can dox each other all we want when we're not, you know.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you have a good night.
You too. Talk soon, buddy.
Hey.
Dan comes back in the room and all he hears is screaming. Fair. Well, that was everyone in the caller queue. So, if anyone would like to call in and share a spooky story, then you're more than welcome to. I'm trying to think of any other spooky stories that I personally have. I feel like most of mine are just me being an idiot and getting scared by inanimate objects, because that happens to me a lot. Cartoon desk. It's not a cartoon desk. It's a, it's like a real desk. I stole it from, I borrowed it from a, like an antique sales website. This is like a real desk that you can go buy in Philadelphia or something. Because I couldn't find a desk that like worked at this angle. And now the edge is cutting off. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But it physically isn't there. This desk? No, it's not a real desk. And then the Raven is also not real. Just to be clear, nothing on here is real except for me. And my ears. Those are real. And my tail. Which is adorable. I mean, it's a real Raven that someone, like, filmed. But it's all fake. It's all Hollywood magic. Because high production values. It's real fake against fake fake. Oh. There was a ghost who was watching me from the graveyard and hiding behind the tombstones? That sounds creepy, Dan. That sounds very creepy. How do you know it was a ghost? Did he, like, pop out and say hi at some point? Very curious. Does anyone else in chat have a spooky story they'd like to call in and tell us about? Because if it's a ghost, it's less scary. I mean, true. There are certain times when ghost is the ideal scenario and everything else is just terrifying. Me and my dad were watching The Ring when it first came out, and the part when the phone rings, someone knocked on our door, and Britt looks at me and thinks for about 3 seconds and goes, go answer that. I love your dad, Maffy. I absolutely adore him. Yes, I'm 3 otters in a human costume and a fox costume. This is correct, yes. We went and saw Paranormal Activity, the first one, when it came out in the theater. And at the very end, there's a part where the girl's like possessed by a demon and she like takes the guy and she chucks him across the room. And I lived in Arizona at the time, and this guy goes, damn, that bitch should play for the Cardinals. And that's the only thing I remember about that movie, except that it was not very scary. You're surprised at me? I'm fearless. I'm a very brave little otter, sir. I'm a massive coward, and we all know this. You've never seen any paranormals, but you've heard they're actually scary? I didn't think it was that scary. I don't know. I think a lot of people find demons a lot more scary than I do. Like, to me, demons are less scary than ghosts, and I feel like most people feel the other way about it. But I don't know. Demons to me are just like, I don't know. Your sister saw number 4 and said it was legit unsettling. Interesting. Watch Sinister? So one of the popular demon movies these days, I have to look up what it's called. Okay, this man is not scary. Sorry, but like, look at this idiot's face. This guy can haunt me all he wants. Because look at this. Look at this face. But it's Michael Jackson, except he got like too melty in the shower one day, or like put on one of those face masks with the eyes, and then it just like melted on his face. So the cash cows, are we talking about Sinister, or are we talking about Paranormal Activity? Hey, welcome in, Red Ben. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. It is not Morbin time. It's Morbin time. It's about Ethan Hawke descending into madness. Paranormal Activity. Got it. Yeah, I don't know. I was always really scared of scary movies. I'm okay with scary video games, but I've always been very scared of scary movies. I think because you don't have control. My night's going really well, Red Ben. How is yours going? We are telling spooky stories, so if you have a spooky story and you would like to call in and tell us about it, then you're more than welcome to do so. We're also just talking about scary movies right now, because that's always a fun discussion. I think it's Insidious, maybe? What's the one with the demon? You know, the demon. Yeah. I don't understand how anyone is supposed to take the Insidious guys seriously, because look at his little dumb face. Like, it's just so cute. Like, this is me behind Mr. Otter when Mr. Otter's making me a quesadilla. I'm just like, Red Ben, Bad Ben. Oh, so Red Ben, there is a movie series that we absolutely love here called Bad Ben. And it's a franchise of very silly horror movies that we love. So Matthew's trying to see if you're potentially a fan of the franchise as well. Good night, Amity. Thank you again for hanging out and telling us your spooky story. I appreciated hearing about it, especially knowing that I'm not the only one who gets spooked by inanimate objects. I do want to hear... So I do think we are going to make the shark charity stream an annual event that we do. So you'll have to come in and do a Bruce the Shark story if we do the shark stream again. Dan, you absolutely will. It's a legal requirement. Yeah, Redmen, they're really funny. They're very bad, but also really funny. So we enjoy them. We actually watch them together as a Discord community too. So if that's something you'd be interested in checking out, you're more than welcome to join us. But they're very silly. There's a lot of screaming, basically, and swearing, and a man fights a ghost. Are we gonna possibly name another shark? We might. Let me show you guys Finny, because he hasn't made an appearance. Oh, what is happening here? Okay. Boop. Here we go. So this is Finny, and we adopted him from the World Wildlife Foundation because we did a charity stream and we raised over $1,200. So if I ever forget to show him to you guys one night, you can remind me, because he's here and he's very large. Yeah. What? Hello there. Welcome in, Wolfpack Raid. How's it going? Welcome on in. Hey.
Around here somewhere.
Ooh, playing a little Sea of Thieves.
Oh, hey, but is that a... Ooh, this will be nifty. Do you have anything of use for me?
Damn it, Jormungandr. Knock it off.
And we... What are you? I'll take those. And we got some lovely amount of cannonballs over here, though.
Welcome in, Ashura Yuki. Do you prefer Yuki? Let me know what to call you, and welcome in, and thank you for trusting me with your community. I appreciate that. We're just telling some spooky stories tonight, so if there's anyone who wants to call in with a spooky tale, then you're more than welcome. But yeah, welcome on in, and thank you again for the raid. Ash, Yuki, whatever you feel comfortable with, thank you. You're playing a little Song of Horror tonight. How was your stream? I haven't played Song of Horror yet. I've watched some people stream it, and it looks really interesting. So I'm curious if you would recommend it for a playthrough at some point. We were just talking about spooky movies and just spooky stuff in general. Also, I'm curious, chat, what is everyone being for Halloween? Obviously, I'm a fox tonight. But yeah, Onion, good point. I should post. So if you want to call in, just hop into the Discord. What? Maffy, you don't have to do that. Oh, thank you so much for giving those gift subs to Sharoof and Yamek. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. And yeah, a channel point redemption to have Finny visit is a great idea, Joe. I'm going to jot that down. Even though you guys are making fun of me for putting things in my notebook, but it's okay. I'm a nerd. I take notes. Song of Horror is your all-time favorite game. Ooh. That is awesome. So I definitely need to check it out. Okay. Why can't I write things down? Why can't I spell? Why can't I remember what I was doing? What? Thank you so much, AFK Cats on Fire, for that Prime subscription. I appreciate you. Thank you. And yeah, Yuki is one of the amazing people that I met at TwitchCon, so please go give her a follow if you are not doing so already. Thank you, thank you. Clap back with the snap trap. I don't have a snap trap. I wish I did. Now I want a snapper trapper. Rush is not interested in Finny at all, but he's, Dan, I'm so scared already. I don't need more spooking. I don't need more spooking. What was oh, Finny channel redeem. There we go. I remember. Rush is kind of like, he has his toys and I have my stuffed animals because I'm an adult. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So we just kind of keep them separate and he just kind of sniffs it and then he's over it. You will save me from the spoops. I don't want to be saved from the spoops. I want more spoops. We're going to read some spooky Reddit stories. Actually, is what we're going to do right now because adults are allowed stuffies. That's a good point, Red Ben. I do not. Okay, so actually, Mr. Otter got me. Does anyone here play Stardew Valley? Because Mr. Otter got me a stuffed Krobus and he has light up eyes that glow in the dark. And if you have bad dreams, get you a light up stuffed animal. You'll feel great. Yeah, I don't understand. So if I'm driving down the street at night and there is a person standing there just like with a thumb out in the middle of the road, who stops exactly? That's my question. Who are these folks? We're driving straight by. I'm not stopping. I'm not going to hit you with the car because that might start like a I know what you did last number situation scenario, but I'm not stopping. Yeah, no. That was the one thing I did notice tonight with a lot of people with spooky stories, like Fiona when she saw the legs, or Onion when the glasses were breaking. You guys are smart and you bolted, and that is what to do. Like, if a situation is giving you bad vibes, get out of there. Don't be a hero, just get. What's creepy is that they'll make it seem like they're injured, 10 Bundy Snaptrap. See, that's the thing, I don't care. I'm gonna keep driving, and then I'm gonna call emergency services and be like, hey, there's someone at mile marker X that needs help. Because here's the thing, I'm not gonna be able to assist you in case of emergency. I am the last person you should call. I almost set my house on fire once because I microwaved something and I didn't realize there was a metal rim on a cup. And so there was a fire and I just started laughing hysterically. Like, couldn't breathe. I was laughing so hard. Luckily, I wasn't home alone and someone else was able to put out the fire. But like, I am not who needs to help you in case of a scenario. It's not me. If you need PR marketing, you need help writing an email, call me. Happy to help. Do you need surveys programmed? Happy to do it. Anything outside of that, don't call me because I'm not going to be helpful. I'm sorry. Should you walk the track tonight and video it? No, Dan, because you're going to get murdered by a ghost if you do that. And we like you and we don't want you to get murdered by a ghost. You did just keep going through the never-ending cycle, but you didn't get bad vibes, Maffy. I'm just saying, trust your gut. If your instinct is telling you a situation is bad, then get out of there. Because who cares if there's actually danger or not? There's no need 98% of the time to expose yourself to that danger. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying I care about you guys and I want you to be safe. That's it. Be safe. Speaking of danger, should we get the spirit box out? Should we try to fight a ghost again? Because that did not go well last time because nothing happened. I am apparently too intimidating for the ghosts. So you're not allowed to expose yourself anymore? Court ordered? I mean, Joe, you knew it was going to happen, buddy. Let's see. I haven't charged it, so we'll have to see if it works. We also have the Ouija board. so we can try to fight a ghost. This song is not creepy, it's just annoying, so we're gonna skip it. Hold on. Oh, it's over. Never mind. Never mind. Let's see if I can find this thing. I have too many drawers. I'm glad you clarified how it didn't go well, because there's a few ways using a spirit box cannot go well. Yeah, I've heard that. But for me, just like nothing happened. You want that Waluigi board you posted in Discord? Oh, so let me show you my Ouija board. Ouija, I can say things. The virtual green screen is gonna get mad at me, so give me 1 second. Do. It's Lisa Frank. If I was a ghost, I would be happy that someone like was giving a little color and happiness in my world, and not just like, oh, I'm a ghost, so everything has to be creepy typecasting. You know what I mean? You will give me $20 if we get a ghost on the spirit box. I don't think we're gonna get a ghost, but I will go get the spirit box for you. And also, you do not have to give me $20, whether we get a ghost or not. Also, I am now changing Australia's official currency to dollar reduce. And if anyone tries to fight me on this, I will sue you. I will give you $20 if we watch the movie Ghost. So I have never seen that movie. I've seen the scene that gets memed, but I've never seen the actual movie. Oh, and thank you, Red Ben. I like it. It's cute, right? Also, we have a holographic skull, so that's pretty cool. Dan, we have to name the skull Howard. Is that in poor taste? Probably. Okay. Thank you, Onion. I downloaded a special Halloween set of lights, like for the scene, and then I realized that you guys can't see them most of the time because in the spooky scene, you guys can't see the background. So it's not in poor taste. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to mock your dead prime minister. Oh, thank you, Red. Yeah, Ash is a sweetheart, so I'm glad that y'all came in. You want to be the clay? Because they make a pot, right? They make the pot. That's the whole scene. And it's Patrick Swayze, right? I'm gonna go get the spirit box. And then I can show you guys my tail. Because I am a fox tonight. Look at it. It's so cute. Very fluffy. Okay. You're crazy for Swayze? I feel like... Oh, there's a rapper named Swayze. That's what I'm thinking of. Not Patrick Swayze. I don't think the rapper is also Patrick Swayze. That would be weird. I feel like someone would have mentioned. Okay, so we've got our ghost scanner. And we're going to turn it on. I haven't charged it since the last time we used it, so I don't know. I'm assuming its battery needs are not that intense, right? We have an antenna. I'm gonna break my camera, being an idiot, and it's gonna be worth it. You're lazy for parsley? Now I really want pizza. Why would parsley and pizza go hand in hand in my head? 3D stream. Put on your 3D glasses. Otter, now in 3D. Smell-o-vision. You can smell my...
Xbox. Scanning. FM.
Okay, so I think I just push this button and then it starts scanning. Let me know if you guys can hear it. Scan. I know, Joe. I heard it and I was like, nope. Hello. Do we have a ghostie in the house tonight? Hi, Fiona. Welcome back. If anyone has questions for ghosts, feel free to drop them in the chat, and then I will relay them to the spirit box. I'm realizing that this is the headphone I took out, and then I'm trying to hear it out of this ear. Hello, ghosties. Are you having a good Thursday evening? Do ghosts get pink eye? Ghosts, do you believe in life after love? Do you believe in life after love? Can you stop trying to end game end Maffy? Ghosts, do you want to go on a date with Trash? Ghosty, would you like to stay in a haunted house with Maffy? Okay, so here's the problem. I don't know, like, even if this ghost was saying something, I don't know if I'd be able to tell. Because, like, I don't know how they do this on the ghost shows. They make it seem so easy and clear, and I'm like, I just hear static. I don't know. Sorry, I was gonna go on a date with you, but I decided to die instead. Oh yeah, I would go out with you on Thursday, but I have to spend a year dead for tax purposes. It's... Okay, we turned it down. This is as slow as it'll go. They're professionals, not staged at all. Have you seen Harold Holtz? This is like Bumblebee trying to talk in the first Transformers movie. You're not wrong, Onion. Do you like cider? Will you put drugs in my Halloween candy? Do you like tuna fish sandwiches? Is Posse on Broadway one of the best hip hop songs ever made? Okay, that was kind of creepy. I don't know what it said, but I heard like a distinct whisper. Do you get your peaches down in Georgia? Who's gonna win the World Cup? Mariachi bands. No, that's polka. Polka bands are gonna win the World Cup. I heard wedding. Someone's getting married. Which one of y'all is marrying a ghost? Should I go get crystals? Yeah, take me to San Juan Island, yes. I don't know what that is, but take me there. Take me to Dallas. Okay. I think the ghosties are a little shy. Okay, last chance, ghosties. Anything you want to say to us before we say goodnight to you via the spirit box? We need an offering. Ghosties, I will give you 3 Snicker bars if you say... I will give you a Klondike bar if you say some cool shit. Even the bird left. The bird's like, I'm out. Okay. Well, I think once again, our spirit box experiment has been a failure. Hey, Ace and Deuce, welcome on in. If you would like to call in with a spooky story, then that is how you would do it. You would just hop into Discord, and that goes for everyone else in chat. And thank you again to everyone who's been kind enough to share your stories with us so far. I'll give you a traditional English snack, a teacup full of beans. Honestly, I could see that being a thing in your country. I could see it. What's the C track? Oh, wait, Fiona, was Trash talking about Crystals the burgers? Because I thought Crystals the, like rocks this whole time. I thought Trash was talking about rocks, and I didn't realize White Castle. The track. Oh, you should, honestly, Dan. Maybe I'll mail it to you. See if you can get better use out of it. We do not, Ace. It's just vocal for you guys. For callers. Eventually, when Twitch's guest star feature comes out, we might expand into cameras. But for now, we're just gonna do vocal. Verbal. Vocal. You don't live in Oregon. Crystals. No worries, Ace. I totally understand. I would not want to just like be randomly put on camera either, so I feel you. Every time I go home to Jacksonville, I always get myself a sack full from the local Crystals. See, I had no idea Crystals was a thing. Red Ben, you're in Oregon? I'm in Oregon! Sorry, I just screamed at you a little bit. I'm sorry, I just got really excited. My address is redacted, 3199 Australia. Got it. Done. You bet. A sackful. Take your time, Ace. We're good. A sackful is the best name for a grouping of food. It really is. Also, I've wanted pie for like 4 days, and I keep forgetting that I want pie. And then I want pie. Pacific Northwest, unite. And I saw Ace join and then leave. So we'll just give Ace a minute. They probably do. Yeah, you went right in there, buddy. Scared yourself? Oh no! I don't know what kind of pie I want, Onion. That's the problem. Part of it is, oh, I forgot because I'm unmuted in the Discord, so I was just probably screaming at you. Sorry. I like key lime sounds good, but also pumpkin, but also pecan, but also like a chocolate silk, but also a bourbon pecan. Boston cream is also good. Is that like a pie though, or is that more of like a cheesecake? I can't picture it in my head. And we have Ace, who is on the line to tell us a spooky story. Let me unmute you 1 second. Hello, and welcome on in. And you're, oh.
Can you hear me?
Now I can. Sorry about that.
Oh, beautiful. It was wonderful to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Welcome on in.
I mean, yeah, I mean, like, hi. I mean, I at first, I was gonna come in and just not have any story planned and then just tell everybody that I love them for existing, just because, like, I really don't have anything, like, too scary to think about other than, like, things that are, like, lifelong, and that's not necessarily scary, that's just, like, the horrors of life, you know?
Yeah, just existential dread is not great for, like, a campfire story, but I feel
Yeah, that's never good, you know what I mean? And, like, ultimately, like, even, like, all the things that I have as far as, like, campfire stories are not like, you know, just literally that campfire stories, like shit you make up just to scare kids, right? Like, you know, I mean, that's ultimately what it is it's like to scare them, but not scare them too much, right? Be playful about it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, but just be like, oh, there's Satanists all the way out in the forest, you know? Like, that was the one that I always remembered from fucking summer camp. We would always, like, have, like, weird rumor of the Satanist camp that's, like, deep 2 miles out in the woods past our camp. And then every year we'd have some idiot kids that just go out and run out deep into the woods in the direction that they thought it was and then come back like 2 hours later.
Just like, maybe we find some Satanists, maybe we don't. I don't know what we're gonna do when we find them, but
Yeah, they just have no fucking clue. They want to find the thing that we keep that people keep making like stories up about being like cannibals and murderers and shit. Like they want to find these people for some reason.
Yes.
Every time.
I have the self-preservation gene. I'm not going, if you're like, oh, there's some people over there and they will kill you and eat you. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to go over there.
Exactly. I feel like that's just like those are the people that like if we were to be in like you know, like in the Stone Age era, like they would have just gotten eaten by a tiger or something, right? They would have just been like, oh, what's that? And then walked over to like a lion or something, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like the whole downfall of our species moving forward is that the penalty for stupid has been lowered so much.
Oh yeah.
That
I mean, like ultimately, like that's the whole idea of the movie Idiocracy, isn't it? Is that like the penalty for stupid is next to nothing, and then we also have like more stupid people making more babies, like just statistically, and then that'll just loop to being a thing.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, I don't even know. So like truly, like the only thing I can think of that was like a really like scary thing in the moment was that I had to like intentionally jump in front of a car. Like that was pretty scary.
Wait, what? Why?
Because I was with, because I was like a kid at this stage, but I was like a little bit of an older kid, and I was playing around with like this neighborhood kid that I hang out with and his sister, and we were just kind of literally playing in the street because like I lived in the middle of nowhere, right? So it's like there's never any cars coming. So,
Yeah.
like we were just fucking around with like the one car that came down the street after a long while. Like, we were just playing around in the street, just literally delaying them, just being idiot children, right? Just like, and it was just being stupid. And then like one time someone came like whipping around the street and we almost got hit. And then that person apparently also called the fucking police. Like the person who almost kills us.
Oh my goodness.
It's like this fucking person comes whipping around the road. I have to run in front of the fucking car. I have to literally run past the car to save this kid who's not paying attention.
Oh.
Like he is like, it was just suddenly like, oh fuck, and I just had to like run. It was not fun. It was like I don't remember how close I was because I was a kid, but it felt a lot closer than it probably was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh. Well, that's scary. I'm glad you saved the kid though, and hopefully learned your lesson about trolling traffic.
Generally, you don't want to play. Generally, playing in the streets just not a cool idea.
Yeah. Don't play in traffic, kids.
Yeah, it's just not a good idea. It's like just generally not a good idea, especially even if you don't have like any traffic going by, because that means that people will drive more recklessly.
That's true, right? If there's no one on the road, you're gonna speed.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Awesome.
Oh,
Well, thank you so much for calling in, Ace. It was great chatting with you about the existential dread we all feel, the downfall of our species, and why not to play in traffic.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And then also, yeah, what I was going to say was kind of on a more fun note. The whole reason I was saying I had to set up my set is that, like, I know you probably won't believe me right now, but I do all of this in the bathroom, and I just have to. I have like a whole bunch of props and shit behind me that I had to like sort out. Like this whole time, I'm still instinctively just grabbing hats. Like I just don't know what to do. I just got to do something with my hands.
Totally fair. I'm very curious about these props. I recommend you put a picture in Discord.
Oh, yeah.
But I think
I'm sure you'll see it at some point. I'll be around.
For sure. Well, it's so
Especially
nice
if you're doing
meeting you.
Collins.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this was our first time doing it,
Shoot,
but
I just realized I didn't follow you. There you go. Well, now you've been followed. Congratulations.
Welcome to the Otter Den officially, Ace. It was so great meeting you, and yeah, I think we'll do a couple more of these shows. So thank you again
Thank
for
you so
calling in,
much.
bud.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I love each and every one of you for existing.
Thank you. Have a good night. So don't play in traffic, kids. It's always a good lesson. Well, I have said the phrase "go play in traffic, kid." I have said that, so now it feels disingenuous for me to be like, "Don't play in traffic, kids." But to be clear, I say that to adults, not children, and I say it to adults who I think should be hit by a car. So I'm a terrible person, but you guys knew that. To grab a pic of a plaque set in the street? What, Fiona? I'm glad you made sure that the roads were pretty clear before running into traffic. Okay, so I think maybe You didn't hear anything terrible what I said about me telling people to go play in cars? Play in traffic. There we go. I don't know. I'm like, Fred, but I don't know. I think I'm one of those people who identifies as like a supervillain, but my evilness is limited to me being like snarky and way cooler in my head than I actually am. But I'll try. One day I'll be a real supervillain and I'll commit tax fraud, even though I pay my taxes because I'm like, I hope this helps someone in need because I'm a terrible person. Also, I've been watching a lot of The West Wing lately and crying. Should I be concerned about that? Oh, you're a villain, all right? Just not a super one, Fiona. You've broken my heart. Super villainy is fun. You should try roleplay. So I'm a DM, so I'm basically a supervillain, and I have hit a player with a meteor several times. It's a quote from Megamind. Oh, see, I don't even know these things. The only thing I know from Megamind, and I think this is correct, and I'm gonna do it. No bitches. That's correct, right? You're a villain, just no one knows it yet. Dan, we know you're an evil Russian AI who is just here to feed us propaganda. We know this about you. Dude, Onion, that show is so good and also not that kind of roleplay trash. Oh, you're doing GTA roleplay. So good friend of the stream, Cowboy, is a streamer friend of mine and he does a lot of GTA roleplay. And so he and I are trying to working on a co-stream where he's going to be teaching me how to do GTA roleplay and I'm going to be a supervillain. So I'm excited, but also scared because it's definitely an intense little world to get into. Just like the technology of getting into the server is feels like a lot. So I'm excited. I'm going to do one last call. Well, actually, let me see what time it is. Oh, it's almost, okay. So we're gonna do one last story that I'm gonna read to you guys. And then we're gonna find someone to read out. So one last spooky story, and then we're gonna call it a night. This has been my first call-in stream. We've done a couple call-ins on non-full call-in streams. For those of you who are new tonight, thank you again for coming in and having a great time with us. For all of my regulars, thank you so much for calling in and sharing all your great stories. I think this is something we're gonna start to do a little more regularly, so look forward to that in the coming weeks. Let's do this one last spoopy story and then read out. I was babysitting a family I was unfamiliar with. My parents knew them and suggested me when they needed a sitter, and I liked having money, so I accepted. The kids go to bed and I kill time, as you do, before smartphones are their thing, by reading, doing a little homework. Anyways, I start to hear voices from another room. Not just voices, but this low, demonic voice speaking to another one. I'm not religious, but when you realize that no, you're not just hearing things, that's definitely a voice in an empty room, it's more than a little creepy. Not knowing what was going on, I slowly crept up to the doorway of the sitting room and then I peered around the corner. Furbies. Talking to each other at night in the dark. Furbies. Now I want a Furby, so we should get one. Yeah, Onion, same. Like, I don't think I've heard your voice before. And, you know, talking to Trash and Dan, who I've seen stream, but I've never talked to in real time. It's like weird, but cool, you know? I don't know. I feel so much closer to all of you now. It's nice. But no, it was so good hanging out. Let's find someone to raid. Let's do a little raidy raid. Let's see, we got some options. Ooh. So Dino is on, and he is playing something called the Convenience Store, and he's wearing a squid hat. So I feel like we have to support the squid hat. So we're gonna go raid our buddy Dino, really good friend of the stream. He's my Twitch dad, so you're gonna love him if you don't know him. And thank you again, everybody, for coming in. It was so good to meet everyone and to see everyone, and I hope to see you guys real soon, and we'll be doing more call-in shows for sure in the future, because I had a really good time, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys! Hey, it's me, Cabinet Otter. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more, or come hang out with me live on Twitch. See you soon!